You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hurricane Milton has weakened a bit more. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It is no longer a Category 5, but it potentially could strengthen back to that as it makes its approach to the state of Florida.
Regardless of wind speed, now 145 miles an hour. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis warns Milton could have a historic 10 to 15-foot storm surge from the Tampa area down to Sarasota when it hits, maybe tomorrow. As people evacuate, some gas stations have run dry, but the governor insists
There is no fuel shortage. Fuel continues to arrive.
As people board up and stock up, many grocery stores have bare shelves. This woman says it was chaos where she went.
More packed than usual, so the water aisles, of course, are empty.
Milton's coming less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hit, causing widespread devastation in Florida up to North Carolina. Fox's Madison Scarpinos and Seven Devils.
And officials say that, unfortunately, it's probably going to take months or even years to get back to normal. I mean, major infrastructure was damaged all around the mountain roads here. Crews working to fix roads that floodwaters demolished in some areas.
There is concern debris not yet cleaned up in Florida from Helene could be tossed around by Milton, causing more damage. And amid all that, there's a political battle. Vice President Harris, focusing on storm response, called Governor DeSantis selfish, accusing him of playing politics, not answering her call or replying. DeSantis told Fox he didn't even know she reached out.
She has never called on any of the storms we've had since she's been vice president until apparently now.
Now, Vice President Harris went on CBS 60 Minutes, pressed on her changed positions on several issues and record illegal immigration.
From day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
Bill Whitaker then asked Harris,
was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem.
America's listening to Fox News.
The socialists who want to move into the White House have a lot of plans for your money. One of them is to control the price of food, and this is just the start. Could 401ks and IRAs be next on their agenda? It might sound far-fetched, but so did price fixing just months ago. Hi, Donald Trump Jr. here. If you've spent decades building your nest egg, you can act now to stop your savings from falling into the hands of the socialists. It's why Americans are turning to gold, the ultimate safe haven in uncertain times. To see how easy it is to diversify your retirement with gold, get a free info kit from my friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold makes it easy to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait any longer. Protect your financial future now. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust.
Paid for by
your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Argel with a look at your KPEL News headlines on this Tuesday morning. The National Transportation Safety Board has issued the preliminary report for their investigation of a September plane crash that left local developer and philanthropist Greg Manuel dead when his plane crashed onto a fairway at Oakbourne Country Club just moments after takeoff from the Lafayette Regional Airport. In the report, investigators wrote that the aircraft had just departed the airport en route to Gulf Shores. The plane lifted off the runway and reached an altitude of about 200 feet before reaching the runway's edge. It then made a slight left turn, then a right turn, and the data ended. Witnesses reported seeing the airplane during the takeoff and thick white smoke trailing from the aircraft. According to the report, surveillance video from the Lafayette Regional Airport showed the airplane as it began its takeoff, and white smoke could be seen trailing from the aircraft. The report doesn't include preliminary findings of any malfunction and states that the engine wasn't as damaged as the rest of the aircraft, is undergoing further examination. The final report, which usually provides a cause, can take 18 to 24 months to complete. This is a follow-up to a story we first brought you yesterday morning. According to a News 15 report, Jennings police are trying to find a Crowley teen accused of shooting two people at a motorcycle club on Saturday. Investigators said 17-year-old Savion Guillory of Crowley is wanted on a charge of attempted second-degree murder, illegal discharge of a firearm, and possession of a firearm by persons under 18. They added the shooting happened in the 700 block of South Main Street. Jennings PD said responding officers found 2 people suffering from gunshot wounds, and they were later taken to trauma centers in the area. Guillory is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call the Jennings Police Department at 337-821-5500, extension 500, or the anonymous tip line at 337-275-9002. Another suspect in the killing of Anthony Babineau, September 23rd, has been arrested. That's according to authorities. 22-year-old Dalen Williams of Lafayette turned himself into the Lafayette Parish Jail Sunday afternoon and was booked on charges of second-degree murder. Scott police wanted Williams in connection with the slaying of Babineau, who went viral after he was caught on video being choked by a Scott police lieutenant at this year's Scott Boudin Festival. Williams is the third suspect charged in the case. 21-year-old Travion Cobb and 17-year-old Kylan LeBlanc were previously arrested and charged in the case. Williams' bond was set at $250,000. Today, all schools in the Vermilion Parish school system have different phone numbers as investigators look into a potential compromise of the system's networks. According to a post on the Abbeville High School Facebook page, parents and guardians were asked to limit their phone calls to emergencies only and use the phone numbers posted on each school's social media account. School board officials said in a statement that all Vermilion Parish school system networks and internet were taken offline while officials investigate a potential compromise to their systems. We will continue to update you as we learn more about this situation. Over in St. Mary Parish, the school board there will consider appointing an interim replacement for a board member who resigned last month. District 7 Representative Murphy Pontiff announced his resignation in September. At Thursday's regular meeting, the remaining board members are scheduled to consider appointing someone to fill the seat on an interim basis and calling a meeting so a new board member can be elected to fill out the remainder of Pontiff's term. In a post last week, a tribute to Pontiff was posted on the system's Facebook page. According to that post, Pontiff resigned at the September board meeting, and it says that he served on the board from January 2007 until December 2014. He was elected again in January 2023. He's a retired classroom teacher and a former principal. Slimco Mutual Aid storm crews departed yesterday to assist the Withlacoochee River Electric Cooperative on Florida's west coast with power restoration after Hurricane Milton's landfall later this week. Withlacoochee Electric is headquartered in Dade City, just 40 miles north of Tampa Bay. The storm is expected to make landfall sometime late Wednesday as a major hurricane. Slimco's storm team consists of 30 electric line workers with various skill sets, including overhead and underground linemen, tree trimmers, servicemen, and substation specialists. Safety and mechanical personnel will travel with them to assist in recovery, assure crew safety, and maintain or repair equipment. Slimco crews will also bring specialized vehicles and off-road equipment to inspect and assess damage and move heavy debris or fallen trees out of work areas. LUS linemen are headed to Lakeland, Florida, where public power utilities from across the country will be on location and ready to assist with restoration. Other utility companies from around Acadiana and across the state are also sending mutual aid crews to various staging locations across Florida in anticipation of Milton's landfall. And that's a look at your local news headlines. I'm Jamie Angel.
The Good Feet Store. You deserve comfort in your life. Come in for a free test walk today or visit goodfeet.com.
Keeping your business running smoothly means you need a reliable partner who provides great help and service for you when you need it. That business is Whole Source. The Whole Source team is experienced, nationally certified, fast, efficient. Whether for oil and gas, pipelines, construction, marine, agriculture, trucking, and more, make sure you have the Whole Source experts on your team. Call 337-552-2085 or go to WholeSourceLLC.com. Whole Source, your one-stop whole shop.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter. Locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
And an all-around pleasant day, a high of only 83 degrees. Clear sunny skies throughout the day on your Tuesday here in Acadiana. Your lows tonight will be getting down to maybe as low as 56 degrees. That's from the KATC Weather Lab. For the remainder of your work week, temperatures may get into the upper 80s again, a high of 87 on Wednesday and highs of 89 on Thursday and Friday. The lows for all 3 days only getting down to about 60. Going into your weekend, we're going to have temperatures staying in the upper 80s, maybe touching the lower 90s on Sunday. But other than that, it's going to be clear and sunny and pretty nice for the next several days throughout Acadiana. That's a look at your weather. I'm Joe Cunningham.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Couple things on the board for you to look at. We've got a vehicle accident with possible injuries. It says unknown injuries right now on the board. That is, where's that? Country Run Drive out in Lafayette Parish. It's not showing any delays on the map right now, so that's good. Evangeline Thruway in Lafayette showing a vehicle accident there. That is causing some delays, it looks like, on Northwest Evangeline Thruway. Do be careful in that area. Of course, that area just rife with traffic slowdowns as folks are piling into Lafayette for the morning. Collie Saloon at Myers, a minor accident there. That is something to keep an eye on. That is right by the Wash and Roll on on Collie Saloon and Dulles, where it intersects with Ambassador. A minor accident still up on the board there. That's a look at your traffic from the KPEL News Desk or Traffic Desk. We'll have more as the morning rolls on Acadiana's Morning News. I'm Joe Cunningham.
The Good Feet Store. You deserve comfort in your life. Come in for a free test walk today or visit goodfeet.com.
Welcome back into Acadiana's Morning News. Joe Cunningham here. Glad to be spending the morning with you guys. The sun rising over my shoulder here at the KPEL studio. Hope you guys have woken up just fine this morning. Couple accidents, some minor slowdowns on our major roadways here in Lafayette Parish. But overall, traffic looking fairly smooth. The interstates look clear right now. Let's keep it that way. Anyway, some more national news to cover real quick. If you pay attention to national politics, like you guys know I do, Cook Political Reports, a nonpartisan political report, they tend to they're getting yelled at by the left right now, but they tend to have a leftward bent. They have changed their race rating for the Wisconsin Senate seat. Tammy Baldwin, the incumbent senator there, Democrat, they've changed that from leans Democrat to toss-up. Private polling and their own survey shows that the race is within the margin of error. Marquette Law School showed that Baldwin had a 7-point lead, 53-46, but private polling has shown it much, much tighter than that. So Cook Political Report is rating the Wisconsin Senate seat as a toss-up right now. John Tester, a Democrat who is up for re-election in this year, his race actually leans Republican, so he is behind in the polling there. I personally would love to see Dave McCormick in Pennsylvania doing a little bit better. Right now, the Pennsylvania Senate race leans Democrat. The Maryland seat is open. It's an open seat. There's no incumbent there. Republican Larry Hogan is running. He is actually getting a lot of positive press coverage. Hogan has a very good opportunity of winning that one. Michigan is an open seat. Ohio, you have Sherrod Brown, and Wisconsin's Tammy Baldwin. All three of those are toss-ups. They could go either way based on current polling. The only solid Republican race and an open seat right now is West Virginia, where you have Joe Manchin stepping down, leaving the Senate, and that makes that a possible, a more than likely pickup for the Republicans. If the Republicans take West Virginia and Montana, everything else stays relatively the same, you're looking at a Republican pickup of the Senate, which is what Republicans are really hoping for. Some of them still nervous about the presidential race, so picking up the Senate does put a halt to a lot of the potential Harris administration policies that she has advocated for and pushed for. The House, it's kind of in a toss-up state right now. It could go either way. I know that Speaker Mike Johnson is oftentimes one of the only voices speaking as though the Republicans have a really good chance of keeping and extending their lead. And Republicans kind of mixed reactions on how the House will fall after this election cycle. The race itself for president has tightened up. It is still essentially a tie. There is more or less a national tie. I think Kamala Harris, New York Times Siena has Kamala Harris with a 4-point lead nationally, which is fine, but it's not a national race. It is a state-by-state race, and it's effectively a tie in every swing state for the most part, which is problematic for Kamala Harris. I've got a friend who points out this morning over on Substack that Kamala Harris is running against a man who 100% of Americans have an opinion of, and a majority of those Americans, according to polling, a majority of those Americans have a negative view of him personally. However, they've got a more positive view of what he could do for the country as opposed to her. Now, she's running against somebody a majority of Americans, according to polling, dislikes, and she is at best tied with him. That says nothing good for the potential incumbent. Also keep in mind that Donald Trump has historically run ahead of all of his polling. Also keep in mind that she is the incumbent. She is effectively the incumbent, which she solidified in this latest attack on Ron DeSantis by saying that he was playing politics by not taking her call when she called ahead of Hurricane Milton. Except she's not the president. She's not in charge of any executive agency. Why is she the one calling instead of Joe Biden? Also, take into account that Kamala Harris has really done softball interviews and nothing too strenuous, and she can't even handle those very well. The 60 Minutes interview, which aired last night, was probably the most hostile interview, and it was largely a chance for her to build up herself and her platform, and she failed in several instances to do that. So Kamala Harris struggling right now, and that is a look at the national race. We are 4 weeks out. It's 28 days from today, 4 weeks out from Election Day. And may God have mercy on our souls. That's a look at your national race update. We'll have more of your news on the way here on Acadiana's Morning News on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Statues of presidents, inventors, and civil rights leaders dot the U.S. Capitol. But now there's a musician, the man in black.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
The bronze statue at the Capitol features Cash clasping a Bible, his signature Martin D35 guitar slung across his back. At the ceremony, his daughter and singer Roseanne Cash called her dad, quote, a Shakespeare of the South, writing about Folsom Prison and floodwaters washing away farms. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said before Jay-Z's Black Album and Black Sabbath, there was only one man in black. Jeffries quoted Snoop Dogg, who called Johnny Cash, quote, a real American gangster. And while lots of people who visit the Capitol have never heard of those memorialized in statuary, most everyone has heard Johnny Cash.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
And now Johnny Cash has been someplace else, the U.S. Capitol. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Hey, folks, it's Joe, and I'm here with Riley with Corville Construction, our industry ace. A lot of folks concerned about the economy, personal finances, things like that, but there's a lot of growing families, too, as far as new constructions and additions. You know, how do you guys work with your customer base?
With new construction, for the most part, a customer 9 out of 10 comes up to me and says, hey, look, I'm trying to accomplish this number, this budget, stay within it. And normally what we'll do is they'll have a plan, or we can provide them with a plan, X, Y, and Z, and should fall into your budget. Here's ways we can help you save money without sacrificing quality. And here's ways that if you want to add something that's going to add value, we can do it. And here's some things that, you know, we can remove to help stay within that budget and maybe add on to other areas in the house that are more important to them.
Riley with Corville Construction, they're our industry ace. If you've got any construction needs, if you're looking for a new home, a remodel, any additions, they're the folks to reach out to.
It's Mike at Armentar Jewelers, and I want to invite you to our 85th anniversary customer celebration event. That's right, Armentar Jewelers has been serving Acadiana for 85 years as the go-to place for large diamonds, custom engagement rings, and gifts for all your significant occasions, and we couldn't have done it without you. So for the entire month of October, we want to say thank you to our thousands of clients and friends by offering a little something extra. $85 items, $85 discounts, $85 gift cards, and free watch batteries all month long. So come into Armentar Jewelers and celebrate 85 years. We would love to thank you in person.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Black and Gold are back, and we've got your free tickets for every New Orleans home game this fall. It's the ultimate Who Dat experience powered by Jamie Parker, your trusted personal injury attorney in Lafayette. To win, just open up our station app, put your finger on Who Dat, and sign in to win free tickets for home games. You'll also get an exclusive invitation to the special VIP tailgate party at Benson Tower that includes food and drinks before the game. When the Black and Gold are on the road, Legend steps up with 10 burgers, 10 wraps, chips, and drinks for you to enjoy. We'll announce our ticket winners during a live Bring in the Weekend party at a Legends location near you. So get signed in to win right now. Open up the app, put your finger on Who Dat, and good luck. And remember, if you have been injured in an accident, turn to Jamie Partner, your trusted personal injury attorney in Lafayette. Specializing in personal injury and wrongful death cases, visit JamieParkerLawLA.com, LA 2417591. We want you to be in that number every time the Black and Gold take on the field. It's the ultimate Who Dat experience. Enter to win right now, and good luck. Non-attorney paid announcer.
Celebrating 20 years of enlightening Acadiana. Moon Griffon, next on News Talk 96.5. KPEL. News Talk 96.5. KPEL. Right now, traffic.
And we are seeing some delays, the usual types of delays that you would expect along Evangeline, along Willows, some of these bigger highways, Ambassador, just as people are getting to work this morning. The delay is causing some fairly significant slowdowns in some parts of the area. The good news, the slowdown on I-49 southbound coming into town has all but cleared up. Now things just kind of piling up a little bit on Evangeline. We've got a traffic accident with no injuries at the 8100 block of Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. That's going to be right where it meets, right close to where where Ambassador meets with Evangeline in the Broussard area. So that is one to keep an eye on. We've also got an accident with no injuries reported, Country Run Road in Lafayette Parish. not causing any slowdowns, it looks like, in that area. So that's a look at your traffic. You guys keep driving safe. The interstate's looking pretty good right now up until you get to Baton Rouge, which, of course, it does at this point. But eastbound and westbound on I-10, things looking mighty fine right now. You guys keep it up. Let's get to work safe, and let's stay safe throughout the day. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. Joe Cunningham here. And I mentioned Kamala Harris did an interview with 60 Minutes. This was a fairly notable question and answer for Kamala Harris. It did not make the main broadcast. It has been posted to the CBS News website. It's making the rounds on social media right now. But Kamala Harris was asked who the U.S.'s greatest adversary is, and it's going to come as a shock to a very vocal part of her base.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that
So that is her take on the greatest threat to the United States. Now, it's interesting because the New York Times is reporting that this war in the Middle East, the October 7th attacks, the conflict between Israel and Hamas, all that's going on in the Middle East, that is causing Muslim and Arab Americans to send their support elsewhere or just stay home. She is losing support from that base. So the fact that this question and answer exists out there is it's a pretty big deal. I wonder if that will move any further votes. That is causing, again, some impacts. Michigan is a swing state this year. We mentioned that the Michigan Senate seat is up for grabs. It's currently a toss-up open seat. And Kamala Harris, a lot of her campaign rhetoric, or a lot of the Democrats have been flirting with the anti-Israel voices among their base, trying to keep, Muslim Americans and Arab Americans, with a large community of whom are in Michigan, trying to keep them happy. Remember, the Biden administration's position on Israel defending itself changed after the Michigan primary, when a large portion of the Democratic base voted for a different candidate or voted none of the above, essentially, in that particular race, which caused the Biden team to panic. They were worried about losing Michigan, which has kind of been solidly blue, but between the loss of blue-collar votes, particularly now under Kamala Harris, but even under Joe Biden, and now losing that voting base, they'll possibly just stay home on Election Day. That's causing a lot of panic for Democrats. That answer does not help Kamala Harris. It is the right answer, or one of the right answers. Iran is one of three countries that is essentially a new axis of evil: Russia, China, and Iran, however you want to say it. Those are the three biggest geopolitical threats to the U.S. right now, and kind of being headed up by China. So she gave the right answer there, or gave one of the three right answers there, but that's not going to help her with her base, a base that she has been terrified of losing since she hopped in the race, and a voting base that Joe Biden was scared of losing so much that his administration changed their tactics on it. So that is the latest on that. Let's take a break. We'll have more here on Acadiana's Morning News. Joe Cunningham filling in. We'll be back.
When you say Ray, we promise. You will always be treated like family.
We will always be honest and transparent.
And there when you need us.
So for your next new Chevy,
our pre-owned vehicle.
Say Ray at Ray Chevrolet in Abbeville.
And when you say Ray during our model year closeout sales event, save really big with our biggest discounts of the year. Save even more with the lowest financing, highest cash rebates, and top dollar for your trade. So together, let's drive to Ray Chevrolet in Abbeville or online at raychevy.com.
LA 23-15027. Office in Lafayette. Results may vary.
I'm Glenn Armentor. For years, we've said a fair settlement is no accident. People ask me what a fair settlement is. It is making sure that everything that the client has lost is recovered. And it must be done by specialists who know what they're doing in a court of law and in a discovery deposition. A fair settlement is making the client whole and having the skills and the knowledge to know how to do that. When we win, it is because we work hard, we take care of the client, and we make the client first in everything.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KPEL covers Acadiana with Lowry's Printing and Copying.
Lafayette Animal Shelter and Care Center at 410 Dugar Road, just off North University Avenue, is working with Bissell Pet Foundation to clear the shelter now until October 15th. Select the pet. No charge. All pets are spayed and neutered with all the vaccinations. Select your pet Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays noon until 2 p.m. Let's clear the shelter, please. Get more details at LafayetteLA.gov/LASCC. 20th Annual Buddy Walk happens Saturday, October 26, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Park International in downtown Lafayette. Food, fun, music, and more. It's a big fundraiser for Down Syndrome Association of Acadiana. Get more details. Call 337-234-3109. See you in downtown Lafayette for a great time, great cause.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
Kamala Harris has a tough schedule ahead this week. She'll sit down with Howard Stern, who turned on his old pal Donald a long time ago. The View, where most of the ladies adore Kamala Harris and hate Trump. And Stephen Colbert on his CBS show, who has hosted fundraisers for Joe Biden both 4 years ago and now while he was still running. And I almost forgot. On Sunday, the podcast Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper, which is about sex, released their interview. In fairness, she came across as a real person there, a thoughtful person when she talked about blended families and raising stepchildren and how it's not the 1950s anymore. Now, also in fairness, she sat down with 60 Minutes. Donald Trump declined that invitation. And look, these are friendly interviews, just like with Stephanie Ruhle. That's why she's doing them. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Ojal with a look at some of your KPEL News headlines from across the state. In the aftermath of Hurricanes Francine and Helene, Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple says Louisiana needs to have stronger building codes in coastal regions, suggesting it should be a legislative priority when lawmakers convene in 2025.
Temple noted that the state's coastal areas have experienced a surge in new residents over the recent decades. Enhanced building techniques to withstand the Gulf of Mexico storms could prevent future displacement of these communities.
We need to continue to mitigate against future damages.
Temple says the coastal parishes need to start with making fortified roofs standard.
I think the baseline needs to be a fortified roof in the coastal parishes.
I'm Sean Richardson.
If you thought Hurricane Helene was a doozy, that may be nothing compared to what's bearing down on Florida. Andrew Greenstein reports.
Less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene slammed into the Florida Gulf Coast, Hurricane Milton will be paying an unwelcome visit.
Sometimes your number is up. Unfortunately, it seems like it's Florida's turn this time.
Milton is now a Category 5 storm, the highest level on the hurricane scale. It's forecast to make landfall near Tampa sometime Wednesday evening. LSU public health climatologist Barry Keim says this is the trifecta of storms.
High winds, incredible storm surge, and this could be producing rainfall amounts in 10 inches or more.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 storm just 2 weeks after Hurricane Francine hit southern Louisiana as a Category 2. Will these storms impact the insurance landscape in Louisiana? Sean Richardson has more.
Insurance Information Institute spokesperson Mark Freelander says that these storms really impact the insurance landscape alone, and it's not just the number of storms that count.
The way insurance rates are determined is based on loss activity in specific areas.
Freelander says that one way residents can mitigate insurance costs is with a fortified roof.
If you fortify your home, meaning you make it stronger for the impacts of windstorms, many insurers offer discounts for that.
I'm Sean Richardson.
St. John Parish announced arrests in the shooting deaths of an 11-year-old girl and her 50-year-old uncle. Colleen Crane has the story.
Both were totally innocent and oblivious.
St. John Parish Sheriff Michael Trigg says Cortez Foster and Patrick Maxon drove to the victim's neighborhood and allegedly fired multiple shots at their target, who happened to be walking past victim Ron Tate's home, where he and niece Samaya McLean were with other family. Trigg says Foster and Maxon were out for revenge after they pistol whipped a female victim and were then beaten up by their target.
Both suspects were taken into custody on the pistol whipping case as we gathered evidence on the double homicide.
I'm Colleen Crane.
Thanks to a new law, 17-year-olds in Louisiana can now be tried as adults, down from 18. Governor Landry said the goal is to deter teens from committing crimes. But has it worked?
What we wanted to do was to see whether the law was achieving its intended effect. And so far, based on the data that we have collected, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Richard Webster did a study on this for Verite News, examining the arrest of 17-year-olds in 3 of the state's biggest parishes, Orleans, Jefferson, and East Baton Rouge. And he found that of the 203 arrested in those parishes since the law went into effect in April, 69% were arrested for nonviolent crimes.
This includes things like damaging property, trespassing, theft under $1,000, disturbing the peace, etc.
Webster says a relatively small percentage of crimes committed by 17-year-olds based on the study were violent in nature.
About 13% of the 17-year-olds were arrested for things such as armed robbery, murder, and rape, and the rest were arrested for crimes that were not that serious.
Webster notes that with teens being tried in adult court for nonviolent crimes, that information is public and could prevent them from landing jobs or getting public assistance. And in honor of National Manufacturing Month, Central Louisiana Technical Community College is holding several events aimed at highlighting manufacturing opportunities throughout the state. Vice Chancellor of Workforce and Grant Development, Lindsay Green, says one thing they're doing is reaching out to young people to expose them to the world of manufacturing.
We are hosting several junior high school and high school groups to come through the CLECO Advanced Manufacturing Center in downtown Alexandria to really get exposure and see what we have to offer with our various programmings within the manufacturing space.
Green says later this month, the school will be reaching out to the community as a whole to tout the manufacturing industry.
On October 22nd, we're going to open our doors to the community and let the community experience, along with business partners, what CLTCC has to offer, the various programs. It will be more of an open house feel.
Green says the manufacturing industry is very lucrative with several high-paying jobs.
It's easy to build upon these skills and move up within the manufacturing industry. And so we're always going to need people to help us make things. And if you talk to Louisiana Central, they like to say we make good stuff here in Central Louisiana.
The school is partnering with many local manufacturing companies as part of its outreach and raising awareness and recruiting future manufacturing professionals. And finally, New Orleans will feel a little blue today. And no, it's not for bad things. Andrew Greenstein explains.
People in New Orleans are encouraged to wear blue today in support of law enforcement.
Whether you wear a blue wig to work, you dye your hair blue, you wear blue clothes, whatever it happens to be, tie a blue ribbon around the old oak tree.
With all due apologies to Tony Orlando. Well, Melanie Italia, the president and CEO of the New Orleans Police and Justice Foundation, says 5 iconic buildings, including the Superdome, will be illuminated in blue tonight. The foundation specifically chose today, October 8th, because 10-8 is the police code for in service. I'm Andrew Greenstein.
And that's a look at your headlines from across the state. I'm Jamie Angel.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
And your 8 a.m. code is 604. 604 is your code for a chance to win cash with News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
This October, something big is brewing at Coshada. It's the $100,000 Cauldron of Free Play giveaways. Every Thursday night, all month long at Coshada Casino Resort. The drawings start at 3 p.m. And every half hour, 2 lucky hot seat winners get to pick a vial of potion from the Witch's Cauldron and win a prize of up to $5,000 in free play each. That's right. Just be actively playing a slaughter table game with your free Advantage Club card at the time of the drawing, and you can win your vial of potion. Something really big is brewing at Coshada. 18 chances every week to win your share of up to $100,000 in the Cauldron of Free Play giveaways every Thursday in October at Coshada, Louisiana's largest casino resort and Louisiana's best bet.
You hear that sound? That's someone spreading an illness in your facility. Don't worry. Janny King, the king of clean, can help. For over 35 years, we've been cleaning and disinfecting office buildings, schools, churches, and even hospitals. Trust us to keep your employees safe, healthy, and at work this cold and flu season. To learn more about how our local cleaning experts can help you, visit JannyKingCleans.com. That's JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
News Talk 96.5. KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. Joe Cunningham here. Sorry about that. The wrong button was pushed. Moon in here distracting me. So if you missed a traffic report, I apologize. But basically, things looking all right. Nothing to worry about at this time. Some slowdowns, the usual slowdowns on Evangeline, south of I-10. I-10 itself looking pretty good, so nothing to complain about there. I-49 southbound looking all right. So traffic-wise, things okay. A couple of accidents that are on the board. Cameron Street at South A Street in Doosan, there's a minor accident. Slight delay. Ambassador where it joins up in Broussard. Minor accident there. I'm not seeing too many delays really. But that's about it. We'll keep an eye on your traffic throughout the morning. You guys doing pretty good this morning, so I can't complain too much. So we've talked a lot about social media. You guys who have heard me talk, you've heard me talk a lot about social media and our kids. There's a new TikTok trend. It is causing injury to kids. There's two different trends, but basically it's all the same thing. Kids are dealing with melting down sugar, which is insanely hot in practice. Basically, the kids see these viral recipes on TikTok and they try to recreate them. One kid in Pennsylvania, I have it on kpl965.com. One kid melted down a bunch of Jolly Ranchers to make Jolly Rancher grapes. So essentially take the grape, submerge it, coat it in liquefied Jolly Rancher, let it cool and harden. Well, some of the melted sugar out of the microwaved bowl spilled onto his hand, caused burns. You have to let that cool. You can't, and you can't just like rip it off because it attaches the skin. That is horrifying. But the other one is this. It's a part of a wider trend. This Tanghulu, I think is the name of it. It's a Chinese snack. It's hard candy coated fruit, and you melt down sugar, and then you dip the fruit in it. The problem is, again, melting down sugar is an insanely hot process. It takes a lot of heat to liquefy sugar to the level that you need. If you spill any of it, it's going to cause burns. Well, there's medical institutions that are seeing more and more kids showing up with like second-degree burns because they've handled melted sugar and they did not understand how hot it was. So, first of all, teach your kids to cook. And especially if you've got grandma's old praline recipe or anything like that, they need to learn how hot sugar gets. Or if you teach them to make caramel or anything like that, it's insanely hot to deal with. Do not want to deal with that. I want you guys to be absolutely safe. The problem is, of course, the access to social media. That's a big deal on this. But there are no safety warnings on a lot of these videos. Hey, you need to try this. This is great. And they put some fruit on like a kebab, and then they just dip it in the molten sugar. And nobody tells these younger kids they're seeing. I mean, according to one stat I saw, like 25% of TikTok's user base is under 17. So that's a lot of kids who are exposed to this stuff and think, hey, this looks really cool. It's fruit and candy. I love it. So they try to dip it down in there, and they end up making a mess and hurting themselves. And they're ending up in the hospital because of it. Be careful on that. We've got that story up at News Talk 96.5 KPEL. More on the way here on Acadiana's Morning News.
Securing America.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas recently spoke about the border crisis in a fireside chat during the Immigration Law and Policy Conference. Mayorkas says one of the keys to controlling the flow of migrants is to reinforce the idea that asylum is only for escaping persecution.
It is not intended for economic migration.
The secretary noting that the border issue is at the forefront of many Americans' minds and that change in the system is needed.
Because the status quo is unworkable.
Mayorkas also acknowledging
the American public does want, does expect, and does demand the delivery of order.
The secretary also reiterating this principle.
The border does mean something.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Don't let power outages keep you in the dark. Get ahead of the storm and contact Prime Energy Solutions today. Prime Energy Solutions is all you need to know when it comes to comfort during catastrophic weather. Their dedicated team is with you every step of the way. From the moment you call for your free estimate to installation day, Prime Energy Solutions handles it all. With a wide variety of brands and sizes and financing options to suit your personal needs, the search stops here. Let Prime Energy Solutions make you the hurricane hero of your house.
Hey folks, it's Joe, and if you're looking for a dentist, I recommend my dentist, Dr. Danielle Deku and Associates. They offer all of the usual services, whether it's a regular exam, checkup, getting your teeth cleaned regularly. They can also do the fillings, the crowns, the bridges, the dentures, all of that, and they do cosmetic dentistry as well. Do you need a wider or straighter smile? They can help you with that too, but it's not just the services they provide. I like going there because they take the stress out of a doctor's appointment. Most of us don't like to go to doctor's appointments. We don't like the stress of going and being poked and prodded and inspected. They make it such a stress-free environment. You're in and out. They can help you with whatever your dental needs might be. Check out thelafayetedentist.com and you can see all of those services they provide. And feel free to call and schedule an appointment at 337-282-8640. That's Dr. Danielle Deku and Associates, 337-282-8640.
Where are you at, Acadiana? Scott Babin here with Mike's Marine, where right now we still have some 2023 models on our lot that we are blowing out the door. Thousands below invoice. Fiberglass bay boats, pontoon boats, and several models of aluminum boats. Both locations are running amazing deals. In Broussard, we got Key West, War Eagle, and Crestliners to choose from, while in New Iberia, we got Sportsman, G3, Suncatcher, and Avid boats. So give us a call at 839-2981. It's 839-2981. And remember, at Mike's Marine, we're keeping you on the water.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
The loudest voices on the biggest issues impacting your life. Continuing the long tradition of informing you in Acadiana. News Talk 96.5, KPEL. Depend on it.
And an all-around pleasant day, a high of only 83 degrees. Clear sunny skies throughout the day on your Tuesday here in Acadiana. Your lows tonight will be getting down to maybe as low as 56 degrees. That's from the KATC Weather Lab. For the remainder of your work week, temperatures may get into the upper 80s again, a high of 87 on Wednesday and highs of 89 on Thursday and Friday. The lows for all 3 days only getting down to about 60. Going into your weekend, we're going to have temperatures staying in the upper 80s, maybe touching the lower 90s on Sunday. But other than that, it's going to be clear and sunny and pretty nice for the next several days throughout Acadiana. That's a look at your weather. I'm Joe Cunningham.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Taking a look at your traffic, nothing has really changed in the last few minutes, but so far things looking pretty okay. No major delays in Lafayette. We'll keep you updated if there are any, but you're looking pretty safe right now. Keep it up, Lafayette. Glad you guys are driving safe this morning. Let's start that workday off right with no drama on our roads. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Glad to be with y'all this morning. Some drama in the Hurricane Helene recovery efforts. The United Cajun Navy is alleging that somebody in an unmarked helicopter rotor washed the Burnsville, a distribution spot in Burnsville. It apparently ruined a bunch of emergency supplies that were brought in by the United Cajun Navy to help in the area. So whoever that was ruined some good supplies. Conspiracy theories floating that it was a government helicopter that ruined it. United Cajun Navy not saying that's the case. They are investigating it. My Red State colleague, Jennifer Oliver O'Connell, spoke with Brian Trasher of the United Cajun Navy, confirming that, yes, a helicopter did rotor wash a Western North Carolina resource site. And the United Cajun Navy had some strong language for whoever was involved in that. There's a lot of conspiracy theories floating around about the efforts in North Carolina. They're not saying it was a government helicopter. They're not saying anything like that. There are people who are speculating that, but in fact, the United Cajun Navy said we're trying really hard to stay out of the conspiracy space, but some people aren't making it easy. This actually happened to a distribution site we supplied in West North Carolina. Make it make sense, please. So that's unfortunate. And whoever did it broke a bunch of FAA laws in the way they were handling their helicopter. Not a good situation at all. Part of the problem with North Carolina is that there was such a vacuum of government assistance that a lot of private groups and private citizens came in. Several of them organized, they were coordinating properly, but in instances like this where this could be a private helicopter situation or something like that, people who are just in but not knowing what they're doing is causing more problems. That's it for Acadiana's Morning News. Glad to be with you all this morning. Moon Griffon up next on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
PepsiCo shares are lower after the parent of Pepsi, Gatorade, Frito-Lay, and other brands lowered its sales forecast. Its earnings topped expectations helped by cost controls, but its revenue declined in the quarter. Pepsi's planning to invest to stimulate sales in coming months. General Motors holds an event today for analysts and investors. Wall Street analysts will be looking for a strategy from GM about its EV business. A unit of EV battery maker Northvolt has filed for bankruptcy. It was created to manage the build-out of a battery factory in northern Sweden, but the project has been shelved, reflecting cooling demand for EVs. Last month, Northvolt announced 1,600 job cuts in Sweden. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Hi, Donald Trump Jr. here. I never thought I'd see price fixing as a campaign promise. What's next? Is your 401k or IRA on the left's to-do list? This is why you need to act now and protect your nest egg. I believe gold is the answer. To find out more, get a free info kit from Birch Gold by texting the word SHELTER to the number 989898. Act now to secure your financial future. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Paid for.
Are you ready for the ultimate Ragin' Cajun homecoming celebration? We've teamed up with Bryant Jewelry Buyers and Fizo Seafood, Steakhouse, Oyster Bar, and Catering to bring you a legendary Ragin' Cajun homecoming party. Imagine this, a catered feast for you and 9 of your closest friends. Plus, UL Athletics is throwing in a prime tailgate spot and 10 homecoming game tickets. Entering is simple. Just fill out the entry form on our station website or our app for your chance to win the ultimate Ragin' Cajun tailgate experience.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats from the IRS to seize property and levy bank accounts. If you have IRS issues, call the Bryson Law Firm today. Don't wait. Those IRS notices you're getting have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadlines, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Bryson Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case for the best outcome for you. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices across the state. Don't wait. Call 855-LA Tax Help and schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm or visit BrysonLawFirm.com. LSBA filing number LA2416844.
Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
They keep boarding up, stocking up, and or packing up. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As Hurricane Milton slowly moves closer to Florida's west coast.
If you are in one of those surge-prone areas, take action now.
Governor Ron DeSantis also says people evacuated and a lot of traffic with long lines at gas stations. Even though some ran out, there's no shortage.
Last night, 27 fuel trucks were escorted by the Florida Highway Patrol.
Milton is a Category 4 hurricane with 145-mile-an-hour winds now, and its storm surge threat stretches from the Tampa area down to Fort Myers, hitting areas already inundated by the storm surge from Hurricane Helene.
Lido Key, 4 miles from downtown Sarasota. This is the barrier island, which right now, no one is home.
Fox Weather's Britta Merwin says they're still cleaning up the damage Helene did there.
And what's left behind are these massive debris piles, and it's been out here for over a week. In fact, you can already see the mold that is growing on the cabinets. This is a huge health hazard, but the problem is we could have worst-case scenario 15 feet of storm surge. That would take all of this and throw it back at the houses where it was ripped out of.
The Helene cleanup continues all the way up to flood-devastated North Carolina. More than 230 people were killed in the storm. More still unaccounted for. The Supreme Court is back in session, considering a Second Amendment case this hour focused on guns built from kits or 3D printers.
The Biden administration's 2022 federal rules made changes to the definition of ghost guns to make unfinished parts subject to licensing and serial numbers, which makes it easier to be traced and tracked. The gun rights groups challenging the rule argue the Biden administration went too far in its regulation.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Another day, another rocket barrage into Israel from Lebanon. Hezbollah's acting leader warns they intend to displace more Israelis from their homes. Israel keeps launching airstrikes in response, taking out rocket launchers and killing another Hezbollah commander. America's listening to Fox News.
The socialists who want to move into the White House have a lot of plans for your money. One of them is to control the price of food. And this is just the start. Could 401ks and IRAs be next on their agenda? It might sound far-fetched, but so did price fixing just months ago. Hi, Donald Trump Jr. here. If you've spent decades building your nest egg, you can act now to stop your savings from falling into the hands of the socialists. It's why Americans are turning to gold, the ultimate safe haven in uncertain times. To see how easy it is to diversify your retirement with gold, get a free info kit from my friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold makes it easy to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait any longer. Protect your financial future now. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
And your 9 o'clock code is 319. 319 is your code for a chance to win cash with News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, lower back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Do you feel like you're putting your life on hold? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief. You might even be considering surgery, like Kathleen.
I was buying new shoes every 3 months. It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
And Dave is also a satisfied Good Feet customer.
Whether you're young or old, these are life-changing. I've tried the rest. The best is Good Feet.
You deserve a better life, too. Come to the Good Feet store today. Visit the store in Lafayette on Ambassador Caffrey Parkway next to Chicken Salad Chick, Baton Rouge in Town Center next to AT&T, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet, because you deserve comfort in your life. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Are you in the market for a new generator? Look no further than Sirius Technologies. Visit SiriusUSA.com or call 337-457-1818 today. They offer top-notch new generator sales featuring Kohler, and they service Generac and all other brands too. Plus, ask about their service agreement to keep your generator running smoothly all year long. For Sirius Technology and Sirius Service, choose Sirius Technologies. That's 337-457-1818 or SiriusUSA.com.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is terrific Tuesday. Great to be with you today. 844-766-6607. Matthew James, Business Tax Reduction Hotline. It was funny when Blanchard came on yesterday. John Blanchard, he was running out with a client he had from in the state of Louisiana from the program that had called him and was working with him. So I thought that was kind of cool. All righty, folks, as we rock and roll. By the way, 9:32, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser will join us for a few minutes talking about all the things going on in the great state of Louisiana. Before we get there, though, old friend of the program, Tiger Joyce, joins us, American Tort Reform. Tiger, how you doing?
Moon, good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on this morning.
Yes, man, I appreciate it. First question is, will the state of Louisiana ever change? Not that you just work in the state of Louisiana, but.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think there have been some changes, but, are the changes what the state needs? I think there's a lot more that needs to be done think you've highlighted that, and I credit you for being so out front in highlighting the issues. And it's challenging, but I think it begins with having the men and women listening to your program and everybody in your state understanding that the abuses, the excesses of civil litigation affect them all. It's not just an issue for judges and lawyers and professors. It affects small business people, healthcare providers, but all of us, even as consumers. And having a system that's as fair and efficient as possible is in the interest of all of us. Maybe with the exception of those who extract excessive fees and windfalls.
I think what happens here, Tiger, we got Louisiana. We've got really good people here, and unfortunately, we're losing the heck out of a lot of them. And they're getting out of here, and then older people are going with them. It's like nobody wants to address it. But let me give you an example here, and I'm sure you know this. So everybody sees the insurance rates are skyrocketing. They see that businesses don't do as well here. Some businesses do great here, but, boy, they could do even better. And other businesses don't want to come. We don't expand here. And I don't think anybody sees the side you're talking about. Y'all have done a heck of a job of explaining. I had Atlanta Venable on yesterday explaining it, but I don't think people see. Because when you get up in the morning and you watch the news or you watch the news at night, all we see is some, not all now, I'm not blaming it. I've got very good friends that are trial lawyers, okay? And I love them to death, and they make a lot of money, good for them. But they only see one side of the equation, and that side, they see an insurance rates outrageous, and then they see attorneys blaming the insurance companies all the time. And then they're showing how much money they're making. I make $1 billion for my clients, or $2 billion. By the way, they put a lot in their pocket. And I don't think they see that. So they got one side beating up the other one. I'm not saying the insurance companies are right either. But you got one side beating up the insurance company. So when you're sitting around looking and you really don't pay attention, you don't read, you don't follow everything, my thing is, well, dang, insurance companies are horrible. And the trial lawyers to the rescue. And that's what I think confuses people. We don't know who to blame, so we don't know how to fix it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Well, first off, I think the reason you're hearing from the trial lawyers is because they're everywhere. We did an analysis in your state that I think in the last 18 months, over $66 million was spent on just television advertising. That's and what we can quantify. So that's a floor. Mm-hmm. So that message that you talked about is getting out there. Insurance is something that no one loves it, but you have to have it.
Sure.
And I think the what makes insurance what's the best possible outcome for insurers and for those of us as insurance consumers is to have a vibrant an active market for insurance so that they actually have to compete with one another. When you get to points like your neighbors to the east, and, we say a prayer for them as this terrible storm is planning to come through Florida, but yep. They had some of the worst abuses, and they brought about changes to address those abuses in civil litigation. And what do you know? The market is now beginning to develop. Companies that were just saying, "Hey, we're out of here," they pull out. Are now saying this is a market that we can actually participate in. And so, the insurance issue is tricky. And the trial bar will say, well, your rates didn't go down immediately as a result of these reforms. The reality is that sometimes it takes time, but at the end of the day, the insurance costs and availability are dictated by the liability climate. Mm-hmm. And I think to suggest otherwise is disingenuous at best.
Yeah, I know, but the average person does not know what to do about it. We elect people that talk about it. We had some stuff that were done, and they on the property side, which was good. I give them credit. Liability in the car side, the vehicle side, the truck side, and all that stuff is still hurting. Seems like every time we try to get something done here, there's enough trial lawyers in the legislature, enough power, enough money, it stops them. And that's my frustration right now. It's like everybody knows we got to do something, and nobody knows what we have to do. So I always look at it as the people like me, and that my audience is in the middle between the lawyers and the insurance companies. They're fighting, we between, and we're the ones getting beat up on. That's kind of how it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I think you put your finger on a big problem at the outset, which is that when you have lawyers advertising extensively and really in many ways vilifying industries, whether it's they might be vilifying the people who make our medications and our and life-saving treatments, or the insurance companies, one or the other, or any other business. We're getting too far away, I think, in too many instances about the purpose of our litigation, of our civil justice system, which is to resolve disputes. It's to compensate people. It's not to, when you see all this advertising, you see these mass tort cases, and you have these non-law firms, they refer to as lead generators. You hear some of these ads, and it says this is a non-attorney. This is not an attorney advertisement, or that, and basically what they do is they accumulate information and they sell it to plaintiffs' lawyers. I was at a panel yesterday of judges from around the country, and one of the plaintiffs' lawyers who spoke said, "I get these calls all the time. For $200, do you want to have this information about this person and the potential to develop a lawsuit?" To his credit, he said no, but too often I think that's the case. And what happens in too many instances is these cases simply pile up. A representative from the trial bar said, well, sometimes the problem is that they may be speaking to, the person may be speaking to more than one lead generator, one of these advertising firms. And my reaction is, if you're a lawyer, you need to vet your cases before you bring them. And too often, I think in these mass tort cases, especially, they're simply just piling up names, and it simply becomes a process to be administered rather than actually engaging in a process to determine if there's liability and what compensation should be.
And it's so much going here, Tiger. The problem is if we don't head down that, they keep talking about all these tort reform laws they passed. Well, apparently they weren't the right ones. And we got to continue to do it. And the thing about it is, once you get 1 year, you pass some stuff, you got to be able to come back the next year and the next year and the next year. And I had a gentleman from North Carolina on, and I'm sure you work with North Carolina as well. But North Carolina talked about how they started doing theirs in about 2010, 2011, something like that. And every year they got to do something else to make sure it stays in the right direction. I look at Texas. Texas was 20 plus years ago. They started addressing this, and now they're a friendly business state. It seems like we ought to be able to look at these states and not have to take 20 years, because Louisiana can't wait for 20 more years. We behind so much. We got to start doing some gigantic things. People will tell you the thing I hate the worst is when I hear somebody say step in the right direction, because that means nothing to me anymore, nothing.
Yeah, well, Moon, I would just say this, because we do work with and monitor the activity all over the country. The sad fact is that there's no silver bullet to solve all the problems. And once there are meaningful enactments, I mentioned Florida, very, very significant reforms enacted in the end of 2022 and into the spring of 2023. But it's not over there. Whether it's efforts to roll back the reforms, new strategies by the trial bar that have to be addressed. But to your point, in Florida, they didn't decide in the fall of 2022 to begin this process.
No,
they've been doing it for years, and it's like the old Sisyphus pushing the rock up the mountain sometimes. But sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And I think particularly when the issues are more challenging. I don't want to say I differ, but I think our perspective is that that each the circumstances in each state is different. What is a reasonable opportunity? Of course, we would love to see the sort of comprehensive reforms enacted in Florida last year in every state, every judicial hellhole state. That we highlight. That would be the best possible outcome. And if that's achievable, we would be the happiest entity in the nation as far as that goes. However, it may not be possible. Yeah. And if it means coming back to do it again, but also.
Hey, hold your thought, Tiger. Hold your thought. I'm going to keep you on a few more minutes. Hold your thought, but I got to take a break. All right, Tiger Joyce, President of American Tort Reform. We'll take a break. Don't forget to attend Governor Billy Nunn-Guest after him. Take a break. Be right back. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could? Protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases. Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah. Folks, you heard us talking about Raging Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning, and Raging Cajun delicious line of gumbo, black-eyed peas, shrimp and grits, jambalaya, seafood bisque, etouffee, red beans, roux, jalapenos. Raging Cajun's products are made right here in Acadiana now. Thanks to all of y'all, Raging Cajun is one of the fastest growing brands in grocery stores. Raging Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning. Forget the rest, ask for the best. Ask them for that Raging Cajun. It's good, folks. Trust me. I love it. You will, too.
Did you know you can use your home's value as a credit line for large expenses such as home renovations, college costs, or even consolidating debts? Community First Bank offers home equity lines of credit with minimal closing costs, more accessibility, and flexible payment options. Our experienced community bankers will assist you with an easy application process and loan decisions which are made locally, so you can count on a quick turnaround. If you're interested in making some home improvements or just want to be prepared for those unexpected expenses, contact Community First Bank today about a home equity line of credit. You've worked hard for your home, and so why not put your home to work for you? Community First Bank, where our people make the difference. Visit us today in New Iberia, Lafayette, Laurelville, Broussard, Youngsville, St. Martinville, or Breaux Bridge. Community First Bank. That's my bank. CFirstBank.com. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Sean Pines Market in the Oil Center, where Acadiana shops for groceries, is fabulous. Not only can you get all your groceries there, but you can stock up on your favorite liquors with their top shelf liquor department. Download their app today in Google Play or the Apple Store and discover great digital deals and coupons. Sean Pines and their sister store, The Kitchenary, are hosting a dinner featuring Zwilling Executive Chef Bernard Jansen on October 8th. Enjoy a 3-course meal prepared by Chef Jansen with wine expertly paired. Visit thekitchenary.net.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. We're visiting with my friend Tiger Joyce, who is the president of American Tort Reform. Tiger, you were making a comment. I know every state's different, but we're trying to climb back in the ballgame of competition with other states so we can grow our state. We're the only southern state not growing. Mississippi has a tight, a little bit no growth, but not near like us. So a lot of people believe this is what will change the business climate here. Do you believe that? Do you believe that we can totally change our business climate? Is this the biggest thing we got going against us, looking at from the outside looking in?
Well, others can make judgments, but I think we, about some of the other, specific other areas. But what we've seen around the country over the last number of years, even decades, is, the business climate for a state. You look at the, three things: the taxes, the regulation, and then the civil litigation. I think they're the three legs of the stool. Now, obviously, our focus is on the third. It's on, sure, we think it's the most important, but absolutely, we've seen plenty of examples. You go talk to Governor Rick Perry from Texas, and even George W. Bush, when he was governor in Texas, they were instrumental in helping to turn around the state. And its litigation system was really, at the time, going back a generation, was the worst of the worst. Haley Barbour in Mississippi helped set Mississippi on the path. Governor DeSantis right now. I mean, you look at the leadership that he and Senator Passidomo and Speaker Renner in Florida. Again, it took that leadership both to address individual problems, but to recognize that it's part of a broader business climate. It's an essential part of what needs to happen. But I would say even further, for those of you, for the average consumer, for someone who thinks, well, this doesn't really affect me. Well, the truth is, as I said at the beginning of our conversation, Moon, it does. An efficient and fair system is in the interest of consumers. Mm-hmm. It deals with cost, the availability of services, the excessive costs of the system that impact the average family. In New Orleans, the estimate is it's $8,000 for a family of four. Wow. So it really serves everybody's interest to have a system that works for the interests of consumers, businesses, and those that need the system rather than those that run the system.
Real quick, a minute or two left. We have a lot of. I know we have people that's not in the political system, for us lawmakers that are, that are involved in this. But do you ever have any lawmakers reach out and say, "What can we do about this?"
Yeah, we talk to them. Sure.
Good. Okay.
And there are legislators. I'm talking now here broadly around the country. That want to hear. And we appreciate that perspective. And my history, my own personal experience, I was counsel to a committee in the U.S. Senate a long time ago. Legislators have to make decisions, and they need input from people who have some expertise and a perspective. And we're always happy to share ours. We recognize that it can be a challenging issue, but we think it's important. And hope that we can make a persuasive case as to why they should care, why they should undertake meaningful reform. But at the end of the day, I think the history dictates that you need leadership in the state, and we would encourage your governor to recognize that more needs to be done, and to undertake that. I know you've had some exchanges with him. He's signed some bills into law, but there were some places, specifically the so-called collateral source bill, that we were very disappointed that it didn't get signed, despite bipartisan support in the legislature.
By the way, I have arguments with all of them. I want to see Louisiana really change and be the best it can be. So many good people here, but so many leaving, and they're leaving along the lines of what you're talking about. I've got a very good relationship with a lot of lawyers and trial lawyers. We joke and cut up, but they know I'm serious when it comes to this. Hey, Tiger, you got a website real quick?
Sure. We're at www.atra.org. And as I said, Moon, I think the pattern is very clear. States that have undertaken meaningful reforms with regard to their civil justice system, along with their tax and regulatory system, that's the path
Tiger,
to success.
Got to go. God bless. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
With 5 locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. That menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street, and Holland Road in Baton Rouge, and they're on St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans. But look, their new location in Lafayette is now open. Lafayette, you've been clamoring for it, and now they are open on Collie Saloon. I want to see Superior Grill packed with folks from Acadiana. The best Mexican food with a Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill. Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, and now Acadiana on Collie Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I will see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon talking about another great Louisiana company, Hudco Roofing. Louisiana has some pretty crazy weather at times. Torrential rains, gusty winds, especially up north, hail, and of course, hurricanes. You got to remember your roof protects everything, you and your family and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or a brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select shingle master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there's no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System. And that's a big deal, especially during hurricane season. Hudco specializes in residential and commercial roofing systems and coatings. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. So go to HudcoRoofing.com. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so can you.
Support local business and enjoy Dino's Pizza for your next family fun night, date night, or whatever the occasion might be. Dino's Pizza has been a family-owned and operated restaurant in the Acadiana area since 1971, serving the highest quality pizza on their signature crispy cracker-like crust. Dino's Pizza of the Month is Cajun Violation, Best Stops Smoked Boudin, Caramelized Onions, Pepper Jack Cheese on Dino's Olive Oil Crust. The Cajun Violation Pizza of the Month. Also try the Boudin Queso, Queso Blanco, specifically crafted with Best Stop smoked boudin, diced candy jalapenos, and peppers for a kick. Served with fried tortilla chips. Hurry to Dino's Pizza and enjoy the pizza of the month, Cajun Violation. Dino's offers to-go orders, ASAP delivery, curbside pickup, and is a locally owned and operated Italian restaurant with a Cajun twist. Pizzas, pastas, salads, sandwiches, and more. View their full menu at dinospizza.com. Dino's Pizza, 2 great locations to serve you.
LA 22-13416. Offices in Alexandria, Lafayette, and Marksville. Results may vary.
Car accidents aren't the only kind of accidents you can file a claim for. I'm Brian Kubero. In my lifetime, I've helped thousands of accident victims. Car, truck, maritime, at work, and more. And while no 2 accidents are ever alike, one thing is true of all of them. It always pays to do it right. Call me, Brian Kubero, at 337-HELP-NOW or visit doitright.com.
When you say Ray, we promise. You will always be treated like family.
We will always be honest and transparent.
And there when you need us.
So for your next new Chevy,
or pre-owned vehicles.
Say Ray at Ray Chevrolet in Abbeville.
And when you say Ray during our model year closeout sales event, save really big with our biggest discounts of the year. Save even more with the lowest financing, highest cash rebates, and top dollar for your trade. So together, let's drive to Ray Chevrolet in Abbeville or online at raychevy.com.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline is 844-766-6607. We're joined by Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Billy, how's it going?
It's going good, my friend. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I know this is the time of year. I kind of laugh because Louisiana kind of puts on a show this time of year. And what I mean is if there's not a festival or fall something to go to, you must not be in Louisiana.
You know, we like to say if you can eat it, drink it, shoot it, or dance to it, we name a festival after it.
I tell you what, you can go. Look, it's like that year round. Don't get me wrong. It all starts with Mardi Gras, and it just rolls ever since. But the fall's kind of special. There's just a lot going on. The air's getting cooler. But so what's going on right now? Tell us everything that you know you can possibly let us know.
Well, I tell you, I just got back from a great trip to India where we got a federal grant, $300,000 a year for the next 3 years to go to 3 new international markets, India, Spain, and Italy. And all 3 trips were great success. We met with over 100 travel agents, tour operators at each place that are now booking their groups to send people to Louisiana. So it was a great trip, and it's 3 new international markets that we never went to before that now will have visitors coming to Louisiana.
Hey, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right because I'm just curious. When y'all go on these trips like this, tell us what happens on the trips. You know, we only see that y'all going and then we see, hey, we got a great response and this and that. But what really happens that people need to know about when you go on trips like this?
Yeah. So I always go on the first trip and we hire a consultant there and we do a little research of what those people like to see when they travel. So we're not wasting our money. And then on the first trip, we're hosted by the Consul General, the elected officials. It's a big deal when an elected official, because they don't know the difference between a governor, a lieutenant governor, or senator. So they roll out the red carpet. We get a lot of national media attention, and they host events for us where these travel writers and travel agents come. We feed them. If we don't bring Louisiana seafood, we cook Louisiana style with our spices, and India loves spicy food, so it was a great fit. But we host those events. We do podcasts, interviews, TV, radio, magazine. So we make a big splash, and then we'll have groups going back over the next 3 years hosting these kind of events. We track the bookings, and we get far greater return on our investment from doing this than running advertisement. These personal meetings, interviews about Louisiana, have a greater return on it. It's a lot of work, and our team travels 365 days a year. I only go on the first trip to make a big splash at each of these things, but But we track the return, and India is the second highest foreign travelers to America, and they've got a lot of new wealth there that surely is going to be a great attraction for Louisiana.
What when you go like that, is it a government function for us, government go government to government, or does it become government to government to the private sector? How does that work?
Well, it's both. We had the Commerce Department for the ambassadors for America there. We had the workforce people. We met with the airlines. We met with the Chamber of Commerce's. On the way back, we stopped at Dubai and had a great meeting with the port people there, and talked about economic and shipping opportunities to and from Louisiana. So I kind of use it to do all I can for Louisiana, not just tourism. And I book with as many people that will meet with me to discuss opportunities in Louisiana. The airlines, their airlines, fly directly into Dallas and Houston. They were very excited that we will partner with them in their travel plans for Indian residents to be able to take that short flight or that short car ride to North Louisiana and to South Louisiana from Dallas and Houston. So it's a great fit for their airlines, and they were excited about promoting it as a destination for their people that travel on their airlines.
Yeah, because I was just kind of curious because I always tell people a lot of times when the governors go, I always wonder what the results are. And I don't know if you can give out the results today, but you think you can up the road because what kind of money are you talking about attracting here? I'm just kind of curious.
I get a white sheet when we come back of all the expenses. We critique them, look at the turnout for every event we hosted, which one's got the most bang for the buck, and we critique it and alter it for the next trip. This was our first trip to India. On my next show with you, I'll share those exact costs. I don't have them yet. And we've already had 11 bookings for groups to come from India in a short time. So it's already had an impact. We'll track it as it goes.
Okay, I'm just curious.
And for 3 years we're in because the federal government's paying for it. And then if it shows promise, we will continue funding our consultant there and keep our Louisiana in front of the Indian people. If it doesn't have great results that justify the expense, we'll shift. Okay. That's why we've focused our foreign markets on Canada, France, Germany, the UK, where we know those visitors are coming to Louisiana.
Yeah, that was just kind of curious how all that worked because there's a process to what y'all doing, and I thought, you know what, let me just ask because, I never get a chance to ask the governor why they go on a trip. Jeff's the first governor to come on in 17 years. And by the way, I probably wouldn't have came on my show either, but the point being is when Edwards made trips or General made trips, I love to be able to sit down and say, tell me what you did. What's coming back? How do you make that work? And I just think people want to know when they see people take a trip, they go, well, they taking a trip because they getting a free trip. And that's my first thing I think of with the governor. And I go, well, let me ask Billy. Billy will tell me.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you, I am so impressed with the governor's efforts with economic development, leaning forward, looking at new markets, looking at new opportunities. We actually working with them to produce a video because if we can make you want to come here to visit with a video, it surely will help you want to locate your business here. So, but I'm so impressed with the new team he's put together for economic development because we've needed that for so long. Someone that not just cutting a ribbon in 5 areas of the state every year to say, look what I did. Yep. But let's really go out there and attack some of these industries that ought to be locating on the river and throughout Louisiana. And I'm real excited about the team he's put together and his focus on not just same old. Let's go out there and bring these companies to Louisiana.
Well, Billy, to go along with that, will the governor and the legislature still have to make a bunch of reforms before that can happen? Or do you think even what we got, if we're aggressive, we can bring some companies here? I'm not talking about buying companies. I'm just talking about bringing companies here that can do well.
I think both. I just became president of the Aerospace States Association, and I agreed to do it. I know nothing about space, but I agreed to do it if they brought the conference to Louisiana. They did. And what I learned in that conference is Alabama's kicking our butt. In our lifetime, Moon.
You're not talking about the football team here. You're not talking about the football team. You're talking about Alabama. Okay, I just want to make sure we got it right.
Space. But let me tell you, in our lifetime, you're going to be able to get on at a spaceport and go to space for tourism, have lunch up there. In our lifetime, if you want to go to Europe, no more 12 hours. You're going to go to space and in 2 hours go anywhere in the world. And the third thing that's coming, if you need a new heart, you're not going to have to find a transplant recipient. They're going to be able to take your tissue, go to space, make your heart, and come back and put it in you. These things are coming in Alabama, Mississippi, at Stennis. But what we've got to do is we've got to get our VOTEC schools and our high schools to start training and people looking at this industry. We got NASA here, and every other state that has a space facility has hundreds of private companies building rockets for moving around space, all these other things I talked about. We are the only state, and I think working with the governor's team, we're going to see a great opportunity. We got to up our game with the VOTEC. They're doing a great job at the St. Bernard VOTEC school, but we've got to increase those opportunities for people to get in the space industry. Welding on space, it's a special welding technique that we can teach, but there is an opportunity here that we've passed up for way too long that I've learned from heading up this new organization that is going to really help us. That is an industry that is right for the picking.
All right, look, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to let you talk about what's going on in the state this month, because I know October is a big festival month and a lot of things. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nunn-Gus, we'll take a break. Be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. I've been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay-in-your-home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. With the summer heat here, let's talk about your AC. You're looking for a reliable, locally owned company that you can trust? Call Adapt Concepts AC and Heating. They have been serving all of Acadiana, the surrounding area, in the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. For your home or business, Adapt Concepts AC and Heating has you covered with certified technicians specializing in everything from residential to large commercial HVAC systems available 24/7. These guys are focused on providing professional quality work and ensuring customer satisfaction every step of the way. You want the professionals? You want the best? This is them. Don't miss this summer special. 0% financing, up to $3,000 off qualifying high-efficiency equipment. Not only that, they will throw in a free 12-year part and labor warranty. That's right, 12 years part and labor. Wow. Don't you want to know more about them? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adap-ac.com. That's adap-ac.com.
Everywhere you turn, people are advertising gold and silver coins and bullion. Problem is, it can take weeks to get your stuff, if it arrives at all, and you have to pay outrageous shipping charges along with jacked up prices. The solution? Go see Louis Pizzolatto at Coin and Treasure, 2472 West Congress, and get your gold and silver locally with less cost to you, and you'll leave with the product in your hand today, right now. Coin and Treasure, 2472 West Congress, where they buy and sell gold and silver every day. today.
Don't let power outages keep you in the dark. Get ahead of the storm and contact Prime Energy Solutions today. Prime Energy Solutions is all you need to know when it comes to comfort during catastrophic weather. Their dedicated team is with you every step of the way. From the moment you call for your free estimate to installation day, Prime Energy Solutions handles it all. With a wide variety of brands and sizes and financing options to suit your personal needs, the search stops here. Let Prime Energy Solutions make you the hurricane hero of your house.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. John Blanchard, MatthewJames.com, MatthewJames.com. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nengus are talking a little bit tourism. So, Governor, I know this is a wide bunch of stuff, and I don't know if you have it all in front of you. With everything going on in Louisiana, just this month to the end of the year, it's like you could be somewhere every day or every weekend at least. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No. Did you hear my question?
Yeah. I lost you at the end there.
I just said with so much going on, I mean, you could do something just about every single weekend in Louisiana between now and the end of the year. But so what's going on that people need to know about?
Wow, there's a whole list of them, but I'll start off with Saturday, October 12th is National Gumbo Day, and we're asking everyone to go on social media, hashtag National Gumbo Day or hashtag Only Louisiana. Tell us your favorite gumbo or your recipe. And we actually taking over Times Square. You'll see up on all the billboards this week leading up to National Gumbo Day, Louisiana Gumbo, and all the great things about Louisiana and highlight National Gumbo Day. And that kind of kicks off, you've got Oktoberfest happening. You've got the Washington Free Fair. The International Rice Fest. You got the World Champion Gumbo Cook-Off coming in New Iberia. The Cattleman Fest, the Forestry Fest, the Bogalusa Blues Fest, St. Tammany Fair. There's just 100 of them. Yeah. And that's the great thing. We never give enough credit, Moon, to the families and the volunteers that work all year on these fairs and festivals. They do it at no cost. And they put on these incredible events with great music, food, and crafts that we get to use to promote Louisiana. Any other state would die to have that kind of tools in their toolbox to promote their state.
Let me ask you a question.
It's something we take for granted sometimes.
When we do these festivals, Billy, I know we get a lot of local and state people. These festivals draw a lot of people from outside the state, do they?
They really do. I tell you. The Festival International Lafayette, people come from all over the world, but you'll find that every one of these, you'll get people that will come because they'll be in the country or be in Louisiana and look up what to do, and then they'll keep coming back. And that word of mouth, I know we were down in at the King Cake Fest. There's a King Cake Fest down in Thibodaux, and I was down there for the inaugural event and met a family from France that was in New Orleans, heard about the fest, drove down there just to taste all the different kinds of king cake. And I got a letter back from them that they're coming back to go to that festival because they met some local people and had such a great time. So it's our people that treat these people that show up there like family. They leave with a friend for life, and they keep coming back. And that's why we hit it out the park with our tourism numbers, that these people just coming back because they make a friend for life.
Well, that's not counting the lakes and people, the parks and things people can go to. That's just festivals. So you get people to do that all the time.
I tell you, the number 2 mountain bike trail in the country was just named Bogue Chitto State Park, that private-public partnership we did. Over 1,000 people a month from 14 states, we document it, come there every weekend to ride those mountain bike trails. They got them for little bitty kids, all the way up to a 15-foot jump if you're a little crazy. I'm not doing that one. But they're staying in hotels all over that region. It has changed Washington Parish forever. We're wanting to do those private-public partnerships at all of our parks to make them a draw for those communities. On any given weekend, you go into town in Washington Parish, you see horse trailers because we got the horseback riding and the mountain bikes on the back of cars. They're eating, they're shopping from all over because of those 2 attractions at the park. And the governor's given me free rein to really open up to these private-public partnerships, and I'm real excited that within the next couple of years, Moon, I won't need any tax dollars. Our parks will all make money that we'll be able to use for culture, recreation, and tourism, and get that drain off of the back of the taxpayer.
Well, let me give you one that's and it's more of a private deal. It's over there in Henderson, and I'm gonna give him a little plug. It's my good friend at Turtles Bar, and he rebuilt his restaurant bar. But those people come from all over to get in those airboats and go in other boats. And you ought to see the people, because I go out to Henderson and fish quite a bit. You ought to see the people going out there to see the alligators and and this is some people from Louisiana, but I don't think most of these people are from Louisiana. They ain't never seen live alligators and stuff. And I know we don't just have that there in Henderson, but then you think of Henderson, you think of Patton Henderson, but that's the kind of stuff that people come do in Louisiana.
Oh, it is a big draw. Matter of fact, a video of their operation is in our promotional video that we showed in India.
Yeah.
And they do an incredible job. And you're right, people come to take those swamp tours ever since the Swamp People and all of those shows. It's really upped our game, and that's a major attraction now for Louisiana. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm amazed. My good friend Tucker, who runs all that stuff, and he's been doing it for a long, long time. But every time I go fishing, especially when it cools down, but they do it in the middle of the summer, it's just amazing. I came in the other day. I fished, I don't know if it was last Saturday before last, and I didn't fish long. I came by 11. They had 2 or 3 boats, all of them full of people, all of them going out. And I know how much they get in their head, and those people are enjoying themselves. And they take them all through the swamp, and they take them in alligators, and I guess they feed them. I don't know if they do that. I haven't been on one, but it's amazing to watch them. It's and these people are excited, they waving to you. And I love to catch a fish when one goes by because I look like a professional fisherman at that time. I've done it a couple of times. I hold up the fish, and they clapping for you, and I go, yeah. But I don't tell them.
One of them guys in it.
Huh? Yeah,
I feel like one of them championship fishermen.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm on Major League Fishing. They got people clapping for you. And I'm thinking that's the only one I caught the whole day, but I don't tell them that. No, true. I wanted to bring up that because that's something, and just that, and there's other things people do. You mentioned a horse ride and all that. Those are the things people can do in Louisiana for Louisiana people, but the people that come out and go to those rides like that with my buddy Tucker at Turtles and all that, it's really phenomenal.
It really is, and it also brings that money to those local communities.
Mm-hmm.
They'll stop and get something to eat, shop in town. So those swamp tours are becoming a major draw, have been a major draw, but we promote them. We've got a list of them all on our website. Yep. So we're helping make sure they stay in business and keep doing well because they are a major part of our tourism draw for Louisiana.
Yeah, Tucker and him were on a boat one time, and I was in there, had a bunch of people, and they had some alligators, a bunch of them. They said, "Hey, Moon," I hollered. He said, "Do us a favor. These people want to see if an alligator can outswim a human. Would you swim over to the boat?" And I didn't do that, but he sure wanted me to try it. All right, Billy, I appreciate it.
That would have been a good draw.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a draw for him, but not for me. All right, man, I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good day.
All right. More to come, folks. A lot more to come. DeSantis saying what he said about Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes. Unbelievable with this woman, and DeSantis ripped a new one. Ford's proposing doubling the gas tax so we can stop hurricanes from coming. Stupidity all over. And some good stuff. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Look at this outrageous insurance bill.
Man, everything Washington does makes life more expensive. Thank God we have Governor Landry.
What's he doing?
Well, while Washington's made a mess of things, inflation, gas, food, and the economy, Jeff Landry's fighting back, recruiting new jobs, trimming state government, and standing up for us.
Thank you. Everyone's struggling. Everyone except for the insurance companies. They're getting rich off record profits, while my rates keep going up.
Jeff Landry knows that. He's taking action. Jeff signed nearly 30 bills to reduce rates and vetoed a bill that lets insurance companies profit even more.
Oh, but they didn't like that.
Political insiders aren't happy, but Jeff won't slow down. He just keeps fighting for us and winning.
Governor Jeff Landry always puts families over special interests and fights for what's fair. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
Where are you at, Acadiana? Scott Babin here with Mike's Marine, where right now we are hiring. We are looking for certified technicians for either of our locations in Broussard or New Iberia. We are a fast-paced marine dealership offering vacation, 401k, paid training, health, dental, and vision insurance. And oh yeah, weekends off. So if you're a self-motivated, certified marine technician ready to make a move, send me a resume, scott@mikesmarine.net, or give me a call at 839-2981. That's 839-2981. And remember, at Mike's Marine, we're keeping you on the water. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit the store for a free test walk in Lafayette on Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, or in Baton Rouge in Town Center, or at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
Hurricane Milton still going strong. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Still a Category 4 in the new update, with max winds rising back up to 150 miles an hour. Many people along Florida's west coast are boarding up, packing up, fueling up. A lot of evacuations.
You do not have to get on the interstate and drive hundreds of miles. There are shelters open.
Governor Ron DeSantis worried about what Milton will bring.
10 to 15 feet peak storm surge is forecast.
Fox Weather's Mike Seidel's in Madeira Beach, which was inundated by Hurricane Helene storm surge less than 2 weeks ago.
Debris everywhere and nowhere for it to go but to float or be blown around as Milton makes landfall later tomorrow night here on the Pinellas County coast, or maybe a little south of here down towards Manatee or Sarasota County.
President Biden's canceled a trip overseas this week to Germany and Angola to focus on hurricane response. He will travel today to Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, two states considered battlegrounds that could decide the election.
The new Fox Power rankings show Vice President Kamala Harris with an overall lead and 241 likely electoral college votes in her favor. Former President Trump has 219 electoral votes in the power rankings. 78 electoral votes are in the toss-up category.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The other four states considered up for grabs for Trump and Harris: Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, and North Carolina. Israel's come under fire again with another big Hezbollah rocket barrage, the biggest one yet to hit Haifa near Lebanon. Fox's Nate Foy reports from Tel Aviv.
The deputy chief, Naim Qassem, who of course is one of the few remaining leadership figures in Hezbollah, says the group maintains its capabilities despite suffering a series of painful blows at the hands of Israel, assassinating many of its leaders over the past 3 weeks.
Israel has responded with airstrikes, taking out rocket launchers, killing yet another Hezbollah commander. An NFL team has just punted their head coach. The New York Jets fired Robert Saleh after a 2-3 start to the season. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk. NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who is just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
And here's your code for 10 o'clock. It is 603. 603 is your code for a chance to win cash with News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
If you're selling a business or a highly appreciated asset like a piece of real estate, then you're about to pay a lot of money in capital gains tax. It could be over 28%. That's high taxes. What if I told you through a deferred tax plan, an alternative to the 1031 exchange, you could realize a huge deduction in capital gain taxes, have asset protection, avoid probate, and maintain your family wealth? You need to call Matthew James Tax Pros at 337-895-0TAX, 337-895-0829, or visit them at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com. If you're selling a business or highly appreciated asset such as real estate, then their deferred tax plan is right for you. These are IRS-approved strategies that your tax preparer doesn't know about. Call Matthew James Tax Pros about their deferred tax plan at 337-895-0TAX. That's 337-895-0TAX, 337-895-0829. That's MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Did you know that 1 in 14 children experience homelessness at some point in time in their life? The Gifting Grace Project, Acadiana's homeless children's outreach, seeks to help them. Go to giftinggraceproject.com to partner with us and donate today.
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is a great day to be with you. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. I'm Moon Griffon. I am your host. It is great to be here. Always great to be in Louisiana. Well. As you know, had a killer hurricane come through, Helene. And getting kind of chippy. Everybody knows that the Mariocco and the people that's supposed to take care of FEMA and all that, supposed to have money for hurricane season. By the way, hurricane season comes the same time every year. We never know when a hurricane's coming, and we never will. And they will come whether you buy an electric car or not. So we know we got to have money because we're going to probably go in and help some people. And yet the Biden administration, the Harris administration, Biden administration, they decided that spending billions of dollars on illegals was more important. I saw one article today where they spent the Biden administration spent $750 million to settle illegals in just North Carolina. President Joe Biden's deputies have allocated roughly $750 million to settle thousands of diverse illegals in North Carolina's communities since 2021. Spending shows the administration's preference to illegals, while many Americans in North Carolina lack decent jobs, homes, and schools. The preference continues even after Hurricane Helene's disaster kills hundreds and wrecked communities around Asheville. So they're doing this. So here's what happened. Kamala Harris was asked a question about DeSantis in Florida. Because DeSantis has been ripping a new one because she's telling people that she's trying to call him and he won't answer. Well, DeSantis says she worked with President Trump and President Biden under these circumstances, and he's had no problems. But Harris, who wants to be the president of the United States, now gets involved. And she has never called him at all under any of the other hurricanes, but now that she's running for president of the United States, she's calling him. So here is 1 minute and 19 seconds. This is on Fox and Friends. Now, I had a piece that I saw on Hannity last night. He tore her a new one. And here is what DeSantis had to say on Fox and Friends this morning.
And I've been in contact with the president. I've been in contact with the FEMA director. You know, it's interesting. Harris is not even in the chain of command. Yeah, what is she no role in this? I mean, the idea that I should be like worrying about her when I'm focused on the task at hand is just, quite frankly, absurd. So my focus has not been on dealing with Kamala Harris. I saw the news report. I didn't know she tried to contact me. But I'd also say it's not about you, Kamala. Right. It's about the people of Florida. My focus is exactly where it should be. And I can tell you this. I've worked on these hurricanes under both President Trump and President Biden. Neither of them ever tried to politicize it. She has never called on any of the storms we've had since she's been vice president until apparently now. Why all of a sudden is she trying to parachute in and inject herself when she's never shown any interest in the past? We know it's because of politics. We know it's because of her campaign. I have zero time to entertain these political games. We're going to continue to do what we need to do to prepare and respond to what may be one of the most damaging storms in the history of the United States. So she says focusing on protecting your people is selfish. I think she ought to look in the mirror.
Absolutely. Bravo. Right on the money. She's only involved at all. She don't give a rat's rear end about people. She don't care about Florida or North Carolina. She don't care about any of that. She cares about Kamala. She cares about herself. I'm telling you, folks, for people to vote for the nut job, we have lost our minds. I mean, that is a rip-roaring rip of a nut. She's only coming around because it's an election year. Why didn't she call him when Florida last year? The only hurricanes I remember that hit the United States were in Florida. I think there was 2. Might have been another one, but those are the 2 I remember. She didn't even call him. She didn't even worry about him. She didn't give a rat's butt. But this year she's running for president. Oh, my God, we got to care for the people. Then she makes an announcement last week. They're helping give $157 more to Lebanon. $157 million more to Lebanon. Meanwhile, she announced $750 to everybody in North Carolina in the storm. I mean, folks, DeSantis ripped them. They're so fake. They don't care about people. If you don't believe me, go look in the inner cities. That's the Democrat Party. That's the Democrat Party, right? They don't care about people except on Election Day. They don't. They don't care about that. By the way, the part I seen on Hannity, Kamala Harris was calling him selfish, and for him, and that's what he's responding to, calling him selfish and calling him political. And yet she has never, ever lifted a finger. In the last 4 years, we've had a lot of hurricanes. We do every year. It's no new. They're not bigger and stronger and badder. They are what they are. There's certain times, decades, where we have harder, tougher hurricanes, and we go through decades when we don't. That's a fact. You ever notice when they give you a stat on a hurricane? If you go back to 1989, what if we go back to 1929? What if we go back to 1900? They don't do that. Anytime they're given a date, it's a cutoff date, see what happened before. They don't want you to talk about the hurricanes in the 50s and the 60s. They don't want you to talk about some of the worst weather we had in the 30s. Some of the hottest weather you ever had was in the 30s. They don't go back. Well, since in the last 40 years, all of that is BS from the left. And boy, are they playing up the hurricanes with climate change. Lord have mercy. To never letting a crisis go to waste. Look what they did with illegals. Now, let's move on to the illegal situation. Kamala Harris was on 60 Minutes. Once again, Bill Whitaker, CBS News, was grilling her. She can't answer anything. She gets frustrated. Okay? We all know, folks, we've all been around for a while now. We saw Trump trying to raise that border and do what he needed to do to protect our country. Obama had just let him in here too. And Kamala Harris and them came on, and Joe Biden, when they once again got in as the president, I believe that the cheating was phenomenal, but that's me. I have a right to believe that in America. So they come in, and then they did exactly opposite of everything Trump wanted, from energy independence to the border. But we all know the last 3.5 years, it's been hell. We're watching the rapes and people getting killed. We go in our own communities now, and there's so many people can't speak English, it's not even funny anymore. And they've allowed illegals to come in here. It will ruin our country in the long run. And she knows this. Well, the man from 60 Minutes is not a conservative. He's a big lib. He's in for 60 Minutes, for God's sake. So here we go, Walker, if you got it. This is what, listen to him asking Harris about the illegals, and she won't touch the answer. She will just wee all over herself. Listen.
I've been covering the border for years, and so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem, and solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay?
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the numbers today, because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half. We have cut the flow of fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem.
All right, so this was a pretty good question, and she won't answer. Should you have done this 3 years ago? They now say, we're cutting the flow. It's an election year. Should we have cut the flow back in 2021 when you came in office? Should you have done? No, we needed. You see, folks, this is what they do to you. This is what progressive looks like. We let 20 million in 3 years, 3.5 years, and then right before the election, we say, hey, we've cut it back. Look at this. We've cut half the flow. They're only killing half the number of people with fentanyl. They only got half the number of rapes. Folks, when you let 20 million in, and so you cut the flow from 10,000 a day or whatever it is to 5,000 a day, you have a problem. They haven't addressed the problem. They created the problem. Kamala Harris created this problem that America better wake up on. And they created it because they know it will be almost impossible to get people out of this country because they're embedded in so much. Folks, Trump was right on this again. And China, being as close to the Biden administration, and as Janet Yellen said, we never worked together so close ever. And they sending their fentanyl across. They watching America self-destruct because of that border and debt and the Green New Deal. Those three things are crushing this country. And this administration will make it worse if this woman becomes president of the United States. This is sick for people not to be able to see what I see. This is sick. Anyway, let's take a break. 844-766-6607. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere. I got some state stuff, all that. By the way, old crazy Don Lemon making news again. Craziness from the New Orleans area. We'll get to all that. And Louisiana sinkhole state for taxpayers. I hate to bring it up, but I will. Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you. Or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks, good.
The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you're sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in the couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana.
If you've got some projects to do around the house and you need the voice of experience, of local voice, somebody that can help you and knows Louisiana, you need to check out Stein Home & Yard. They're a Louisiana company, founded, established here. They've been based here. Their story dates back all the way to 1946. Stein Home & Yard has all the things you need to make your house ready for fall. Great deals on fall plants like mums, as well as all sorts of handy items you need for your house. Need to upgrade your power tool game? They've got great deals on DeWalt power tools. They also have great deals on grills for your next tailgate for the big game this weekend. Traeger pellet grills, Weber grills, Charbroil, so many great brands, and it's all right there at your fingertips. Just pull them up, steinhome.com. Steinhome.com is where you need to go to find the greatest deals on your home improvement needs. Steinhome.com, a great Louisiana company.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are you in the market for a new generator? Look no further than Sirius Technologies. Visit SiriusUSA.com or call 337-457-1818 today. They offer top-notch new generator sales featuring Kohler, and they service Generac and all other brands too. Plus, ask about their service agreement to keep your generator running smoothly all year long. For Sirius Technology and Sirius Service, choose Sirius Technologies. That's 337-457-1818 or SiriusUSA.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or Avastin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Hi, hello, welcome back. Mooga Fawn Show. What a day. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. It is your number. So I'm looking at this, and DeSantis just really whacked him and then did this illegal. And folks, I'm telling you, never know when it's your last day, your last show, your last day on earth. The three things that's crushing the United States of America, and it's more than that, but the border, the climate change, craziness, nutted up stupidity, dumbest thing they ever came up with, and the debt. Those three things. Now, when I throw in the climate, I talk about energy. We were energy independent. And unfortunately, my friends in oil and gas and all that, I saw a share with you the other day where they're saying to Donald Trump, hey, don't take away our credits from the Green New Deal because they put money in their pocket. And it frustrates me to even have to watch and read something that oil and gas is doing with this climate crap. But they want the money. Everybody wants their money. Some people are getting so rich on it, it's not even fun. Some of them, their ship has come in. They don't care about moon. They don't care about the hurricane victims. They don't care about nothing but themselves. But those are the three or four things that it takes everything down. I mean, the climate stuff, they got it in the banking, they got it in the universities, they got it in, it's everywhere. And none of it's true. And it's sad. It's sad. None of it's true. Let me ask you a question, because I'm curious. So let's say, how would they be evacuating people from these dangerous hurricanes if everything was electric cars and we didn't have any gas or diesel or anything like that? How would they be evacuated? How would we be rebuilding the United States of America without gas products and fossil fuel and diesel and all the things, natural gas and everything we got, and generators work on that stuff? Folks, this is why we know this is a lie. We're going to take everything the good Lord gave us and throw it away. He gave us a man and a woman. Okay? We throwing that in the garbage. We're having surgery on 10 years old, for God's sakes. We take away killing a baby in a womb. It's what's driving the Democrat Party voter turnout, actually killing a baby. Killing a baby. We're telling people that we're going to stop hurricanes. We're going to stop droughts. We're going to stop floods. We're telling people this. Matter of fact, you see the Forbes article? Proposes doubling gas prices to combat climate change. So that means if you're paying $3 a gallon for gas, if you were paying $6 a gallon for gas, you wouldn't have to worry about these hurricanes. All we got to do is pay $6 a gallon gas. How does you drive an electric vehicle, you not eat meat, going to stop a storm that's coming? I want somebody to explain this to me. I want these really, really relevant, smart people to explain this, because the people that are pushing this are college-educated, Harvard-type people. I'm just kind of curious. How'd that work? I don't think it works. I don't even think it goes together, how dumb it is. And yet here I am watching Forbes proposes doubling gas prices to combat climate change. Forbes can propose quadrupling it. It's not going to change the climate. It never, man, do you realize I was reading a story about Sudan? Sudan is so poor. There's war going on. They have no economy to speak of. They got to go around and hope they can find something to eat for the day, maybe one meal. That's why they're so skinny. Okay? Is that what y'all want? Is that what everybody wants? They don't have all the modern products and services and things like that. I think it was Sudan, and they had oil, but that's about it. And then they want to raise the cost of that. I mean, we don't know how blessed we have it, and here comes crazy. And it's all to destroy capitalism. It's all to destroy the reason why the United States was here and everybody else was down here. They're going to destroy the goose that laid the golden egg, and it's called fossil fuels. In a made-up lie from hell that we're going to control the planet. I mean, this is so odd. I mean, we're so off the chart. Running up debt is going to make us a more prosperous country. Running up debt. I didn't realize that. You run up as much debt as you can. It's going to make you prosper. Unbelievable. All right, got to go. When we get back, more to come. Don't go nowhere. I'm just cranking up Louisiana. I just want to share it. By the way, 4 illegal aliens arrested for allegedly beating, robbing a Dallas woman in her own house. Illegals. Thank you, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Got somebody else beat up. A woman. We'll be right back.
My husband and I were invited to a 50th wedding anniversary. I noticed this little lady, and she was basically sitting alone. Her daughter turned to me just as I came over to introduce myself, and she said, "My mother has Alzheimer's." She had not said her daughter's name in 2 years. She didn't recognize her. I said, "Listen, we might be able to help her." And about 3 weeks later, they show up. We gave her 5 days of treatment. This lady, each day got a little better and a little better. She started flirting with the guys. She was so cute. My friend said, "You're smiling a lot." And she said, "They make those here." The next day, says out loud, "Martha, would you get me a cup of coffee, please?" Her daughter, Martha, breaks down crying because her mother hadn't said her name in 2 years.
Learn more about treatment for Alzheimer's at SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com. Springfield Wellness Center.
I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. A good friend, Charles Altman. They do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, lower back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Do you feel like you're putting your life on hold? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief. You might even be considering surgery, like Kathleen.
I was buying new shoes every 3 months. It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
And Dave is also a satisfied Good Feet customer.
Whether you're young or old, these are life-changing. I've tried the rest. The best is Good Feet.
You deserve a better life, too. Come to the Good Feet store today. Visit the store in Lafayette on Ambassador Caffrey Parkway next to Chicken Salad Chick, Baton Rouge in Town Center next to AT&T, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet, because you deserve comfort in your life. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Do you crave authentic Cajun food? Préjean's in Broussard and Préjean's in Carencro are the Cajun restaurants that can and will satisfy your needs. Préjean's has brunch at both locations in Broussard and Carencro. The Préjean's brunch will run all summer long and is available on Saturdays and Sundays. Préjean's will have their regular menu items, but will also feature items such as Pan Perdue with fried chicken tenders, gator and waffles, steak, chicken, or shrimp breakfast hash, croque madame with boudin and a poached egg, along with crab cakes Benedict, and one of the all-time favorites of brunch, bottomless mimosas. Préjean's seafood is domestic, and most is from Louisiana. Préjean's is local, and they buy local, featuring live music on select nights. Préjean's has amazing old fashions. They even jar their own cherries. So go to Préjean's.com and see their huge menu. Go to Préjean's in Carencro or Préjean's in Broussard, where their welcoming atmosphere makes you feel right at home.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. The Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Let's see. I know you don't really believe in this or like to talk about it, but agencies of government have been trying to manipulate the weather for a long time. Global warming, climate change, whatever they call it, only to cover what they've been doing. Yes, they got a lot of people believe the government does that. I am not one of those guys at all. I don't think there's any truth to that whatsoever. None, zero, it's not. They make it form a cloud or something, but not, you're talking about a hurricane, man. It's just, I'm not into that at all. You know, the chemtrail crowd, I'm just not. Send me all you want to. I'm just not going to read it. Okay? The United States government has dabbled in everything they try to do. You going to tell me the United States government is going to start a hurricane out toward Africa or down south in the Caribbean? They're going to start that, and they got ways to do that. I think that's ludicrous on the highest level. That's my opinion. I have a right to believe that. And I think this stuff is so made up that it's not even funny. Devastating hurricanes. You know, I would buy into, some people won't, but I would buy into more that God's lifting his hand off the United States because we are absolutely rebuking everything he told us to do and the things he used to protect us on. He's moving his hand saying, y'all want to do it your way, go ahead and do it your way. And I'll get out of the way and let whatever happens, happens. I would buy into that theory because I don't think that's a theory. God has blessed nations as nations that have followed him. This is biblical. He's also brought nations down to their knees that rebuked, and we have a more responsibility than the average country because of what God has blessed this country with. So We want Kamala Harris to be our new leader and the Barack Obamas of the world. And I'm not talking about race or color. I'm talking about their thought, what they think, what they believe. I played a clip yesterday. Barack Obama wants you to believe in his beliefs. I don't believe in hardly no beliefs that Barack Obama believes in. None. It is so anti-Christian and pro-Satan, it's not even funny. So please, when y'all want to send stuff about them manipulating hurricanes and all that stuff, please send that to somebody. Don't send that to me because I'm not going to read it. I didn't read that stuff before. And so, look, don't get mad at me just because you and me don't believe on something. That's okay. It's cool. It's in America. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You know, I'm seeing with my own eyes. My own spirit is showing me things, and I'm just looking at this going, wow. Can you believe people think that killing a baby in a womb is a good thing? 65 million later, we've killed 65 million babies in the womb. That's sick. That's sadistic. We're going to tell people a man can become a boy. We're going to let 10 and 12-year-olds get sexual operations. That's a sick society. Not to have a border in your country, you'll lose your country. Man-made, all the things God gave us with fossil fuels that help us fight wars, feed our own people, and feed other people. We're going to tell people it's bad now. Can't eat meat. Talk about cattle in the Bible. And nothing like a good steak. Milk and meat, man. It's just incredible. People have learned how to do it bigger and better. It's just a shame that it's come that way. But I mean, our belief systems are really screwed up. Universities had a lot to do with that. 4 illegal aliens arrested for allegedly beating, robbing Dallas woman in her own home. So the 4 illegals have now been arrested for allegedly beating, threatening, and robbing a Dallas, Texas woman in her own home last month. 28-year-old illegal alien. Venezuela was arrested last week in connection of a violent robbery in the wealthy Dallas neighborhood. You see, this didn't read Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was beaten in her own home by an illegal, does it? No, so Kamala don't care. It doesn't say Nancy Pelosi was beaten up by an illegal in her own home, does it? Nope. It don't talk about one of these people being raped, for God's sake, from one of these illegals, does it? Nope, because they protect it. They will protect it. It's the working middle class people that are hurt by this. I mean, we all know this, but when I read this, 4 young men do whatever the heck they want to do. Somebody said, I bet every one of those women are glad their mother didn't have abortion. Yeah, you're right, they wouldn't be here. A lot of people not here. And that's another thing. You got 61 million, 63 million, whatever it is, abortion. How many people don't understand? We might have had a good president and one of those aborted people. We might have had somebody that cured breast cancer in those aborted people. I'm not saying we could have. I'm not saying we did, but you don't know it couldn't have been. Might have been somebody, okay, that had a cure for AIDS. Somebody, you don't know a president that would just drive this country for the best of everybody. You don't know that. Nobody knows that. They're not here to know. So, you don't know because they're dead. We got a party pushing dead children. And you got to tell I have a right. Go on, have your right. But I'm more buying to that. God lifting his hand off this country more than anything else people can talk about us. People being able to create hurricanes and stuff. I mean, that's just silly and sick as anything I've ever heard. Well, if you ain't going to read nothing, I ain't going to send it. Good. Because I ain't going to read it. When I was younger, growing up doing this, I read some of that stuff. I said, boy, that's weird. But you can believe that if you want to. This is America. And I know you got information to prove it because Jim or John or a scientist named Barack Obama told you. But I choose not to believe that. Anyway, let me take a phone call, and then we got to take a break, and I want to come back and talk about this Louisiana report. Jack in Alexandria. Jack, what's up?
Hey, man. I just wanted to tell you something. I've been hearing all this stuff about the legislature and they fixed some of the property insurance last year. Well, I just got I own farmland, and I just got my liability insurance.
Hold up. Let me ask you a question, Jack. How much did it go down? 20%, 15%? What did it do?
It went up 28%, man.
Yeah, you see, Jack, I pay my property taxes. I don't do like people. I don't put them in my house note. I'm trying to pay the house off, so I kept it separate. And so I'm going to get mine probably this month, toward the end of this month, first of next month, when they mail it out to me. I'm curious to see how much mine went up. But, Jack, if it'll make you... Alexandria,
there's a website that I go to, and this guy was writing about he talked to his auto insurer, and he told him next year that they were going to go up 18%.
Yeah.
So we're doing real good. Real good.
Well, that's all I have to say. If it make you feel better, Jack, I like to make people feel better before they leave. And when January 1st comes, my health insurance went up $420 a month. It's going to be $3,299. And don't forget 9 cents, because I got to pay the 9 cents too.
Boy, that's terrible.
And look, I hadn't gotten my property taxes yet. Told my wife, we just looked at each other, what do you do? You know?
Well, this is for farm liability. That's what this is, 28% increase.
Yeah. Well,
I appreciate you, brother. Okay?
All right. Thanks for the call. Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Don't forget with inflation and everything that Harris, Biden have done, printing of money. They don't want a middle class in this country anymore, folks. They want to teach us a lesson. I wonder what country they trying to really... Anybody know what country they really trying to get the United States of America to be like? I hope it's not China. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they're Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petite Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here.
It started with direct messages. That's how they got to my son. Gavin was just 17 and looking forward to college. He was contacted by online predators pretending to be a teenage girl. He was the victim of sexual extortion. In less than 2 hours after that first message, Gavin died by suicide. It's a pain I don't want any other parent to feel. Social media is causing an epidemic of bullying, anxiety, and depression, and it's leaving kids vulnerable to the kind of predators that targeted my son. We have to hold big tech accountable and pass the Kids Online Safety Act. I couldn't protect my son, but now it's my mission to make sure all kids are protected. I'm a father and a proud conservative, and I'm here to tell Speaker Johnson, pass the Kids Online Safety Act, because nothing is more important than protecting our kids.
Paid for by Issue One Action, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Issue1action.org.
Fentanyl has made its way into the drug scene.
Fentanyl poisoning is now a leading killer of young adults.
And it's a danger you might not see coming.
From fake pills to meth and heroin,
a dose equal to just 10 grains of salt is deadly. If you know someone selling drugs of any kind,
save a life today
with an anonymous call or text to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Just one pill can kill.
This message brought to you by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are you in the market for a new generator? Look no further than Sirius Technologies. Visit SiriusUSA.com or call 337-457-1818 today. They offer top-notch new generator sales featuring Kohler, and they service Generac and all other brands too. Plus, ask about their service agreement to keep your generator running smoothly all year long. For Sirius Technology and Sirius Service, choose Sirius Technologies. That's 337-457-1818 or SiriusUSA.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Last segment of the second hour of the program, 844-766-6607, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. I want to play one more time before I get into this Louisiana sinkhole for taxpayers. I tell you what, Walker, just hold it. Just hold it. Because I really wanted to get to this. By the way, I mentioned Don Lemon. He suggests the Virgin Mary's husband, Joseph, was a gay dude. You know, the sicko that was on CNN, the guy from New Orleans, who is the gay. He's a gay. That's his business. That's his choice. I don't give a care who he makes it with. I'm just saying he suggested this is what they do. They can't live their lives peacefully because they have no peace in their lives. So what they do is they start cutting the Virgin Mary's husband. Joseph was a gay guy. Don Lemon, CNN host, former CNN host. He said because they were not married and she was pregnant that he faked being a gay dude. I mean, I don't know. Sure, it's in the Bible somewhere, folks. I'm sure Don Lemon sits down and reads the Bible quite often in his faith and his walk. So, anyway. All right. Louisiana sinkhole state for taxpayers. Review Louisiana financial statement found the state to be in less than stellar financial position, costing taxpayer thousands. Now remember, this is pre-Jeff Landry. Nonprofit think tank, Truth in Accounting, reviewed every state's finance in fiscal year 2023. Bell would have been the governor. That was when we had the great budget. Most states' fiscal 2023 ran from June 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. I was actually July 1st to June 30th, but that's okay. This is an article written by somebody that's a journalist, so we never know if it's right. So the practice essentially shifts these financial responsibility on the future taxpayers, leaving them to cover the expenses that should have been accounted for in the current budget. Louisiana was one of 27 states that could not cover all its financial obligations for the year. It ranked 43rd overall with a D grade under Bell. Bell did so good. Oh, man. He took us from a $2 billion budget deficit, which was a lie, by the way. Still waiting, man. I know I say this all the time. I want somebody to embarrass me on this $2 billion. I was waiting for the legendary great Jay Darden or somebody. Just come over here and embarrass me. Show me where we had a $2 billion budget. They can't. I don't think they can at all. I know they can't. They would have done it already. Zero Zarang was going to do it. And I've asked Tyler Bridges to check into it, and he said he's going to check on that, and I hadn't heard back from Tyler either. The Pelicans stayed at $30 billion available to pay $48.9 billion worth of bills, meaning $18.9 billion was needed in order to meet the requirements of the budget. After these numbers were divided, the nonprofit found the burden to be $13,400 per taxpayer. However, most of Louisiana's improvement in the financial condition was because it experienced a $2 billion decrease in unfunded retiree health care benefits due to a higher discount rate and revised assumptions. Unfunded pensions and other post-retirement benefits still continue to impair Louisiana's ability to pay the bills. Now, I don't want to say I've been talking about this long, but I've been talking about it forever, the unfunded accrued liability, that not one governor since I've been here, and I've been here since Edwin Edwards, not one addressed the unfunded accrued liability, not one. And Bell was no different than Bobby. Neither one of them addressed it. Mike Foster took the last shot at this. Mike Foster became the governor. He won in 95. He was there for 8 years. He was the only one that took a little bit of shot at this. None of the other ones took a shot at trying to do something about the unfunded accrued liability, and yet the unfunded pensions and other post-retirement benefits still continue to impair Louisiana's ability to pay the bills. If we would have, just saying this, if we would have started doing something about this 31 years ago when I got on there, and I've been talking about this for 30 years anyway, just think where we'd be. No, the guy on the radio, he just a controversial. He don't ever offer any solutions. I've been talking about this. You don't see Bananas Foster talking about this. When he was a state senator, he never talked about this. He didn't care. So it's telling us, because we're not doing something about this, it's hurt our ability to pay the bills. Inflation, the market problems, and other economic factors could further impact the state's financial situation. In other words, I read an article the other day that said that if we go into any kind of recession, Louisiana is one of the states that's going to struggle. And, folks, we're going to have one, if it's not worse. But no, don't listen to that guy. Just keep giving out money to the Good Old Boy Network. It's money. They spending it. We need to build some more new buildings. I never understood something. I'm watching new buildings come up at universities. And then I hear about the backlog, $2 billion backlog at universities to fix the stuff we already got, but we're building new buildings. Once again, I'm not too bright, but I'm thinking, that don't sound good to me. Example, we're having a little bit of work done in my house. Okay? I would love to finish out an outdoor kitchen. But I didn't do that. I decided to fix what I got first. And then up the road, I do want to do an outdoor kitchen or something in the back with a bigger, nicer patio deal. But what I did was I had to look at it and say, okay, Moon, I can build something new or let's fix what we already have. And me and my bride's decision was, why don't we just fix what we already have? We better do that first, because if we don't, it's going to cause more problems. We don't fix anything here. Just like roads. They'll build a new road in Louisiana and never even think about fixing the road that's been there forever. Last year I went and get some shrimp. It wasn't Church Point. It was, what was the name of the place? It was somewhere outside of Abbeville. Anyway, we go get some shrimp. And the roads going out there were unbelievably bad. And so when they told me how much I'd paid for the shrimp, I paid for the shrimp. I said, now y'all owe me $150. They looked at me like I was nuts. I got a buddy that was with me. He can tell you. He said, why we owe you money? I said, well, I'm going to have to buy 4 new tires. I'm going to have to buy all this stuff because my truck's beat up so bad. And they had an older guy sitting right there. He looked at me. He said, Mr. Griffon, he said, you know how many times that road's been around since 1974, I think is what he told me. He said, you know how many times they fixed that road since 1974? I said, no, sir. How much? He said, they never have. I said, I believe you. I mean, you had to go 10 miles an hour to go on this road. It was a highway. It was a state highway. Once again, we building new roads, but we can't fix the ones we got. That ain't too bright. Not too bright at all. All right, folks, leave us. God bless. You want to listen to another hour, moongriffon.com. Listen live. Take a break. Be right back.
Look at this outrageous insurance bill.
Man, everything Washington does makes life more expensive. Thank God we have Governor Landry.
What's he doing?
Well, while Washington's made a mess of things, inflation, gas, food, and the economy, Jeff Landry's fighting back, recruiting new jobs, trimming state government, and standing up for us.
Thank you. Everyone's struggling. Everyone except for the insurance companies. They're getting rich off record profits, while my rates keep going up.
Jeff Landry knows that. He's taking action. Jeff signed nearly 30 bills to reduce rates and vetoed a bill that lets insurance companies profit even more.
Oh, but they didn't like that.
Political insiders aren't happy, but Jeff won't slow down. He just keeps fighting for us and winning.
Governor Jeff Landry always puts families over special interests and fights for what's fair. Paid for by Protect Louisiana Values.
LA 22-13417. Offices in Alexandria, Lafayette, and Marksville. Results may vary. You've been injured in an accident, but you're not the only one suffering. I'm Brian Kubero. Representing you means I think of your family too. The effect of the stress, lost wages, and other factors have on them. For their sake, it pays to do it right. Call me, Brian Kubero, at 337-HELP-NOW or visit doitright.com.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit the store for a free test walk in Lafayette on Ambassador Caffrey Parkway or in Baton Rouge in Town Center or at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Matthew James Tax Pros. Online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. That means it could be you, your best man, your worst man. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
A plea from the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News, as Hurricane Milton heads for Florida.
If you're under evacuation orders, you should evacuate now. You should have already evacuated. It's a matter of life and death, and that's not hyperbole. It's a matter of life and death.
He just canceled a planned trip overseas this week and says Milton could be the worst storm to hit Florida in over a century. Right now, Milton is a Category 4 hurricane, top winds 150 miles per hour, and expanding in size, which means a potentially life-threatening storm surge for more of Florida's west coast.
And this is very much like if you have the bathtub with water and you push the water with your hand, you move some water. If you move it with your arm, you move a lot of water. As the storm gets bigger, storm surge against this whole coast. And then we have hurricane's force winds moving through Orlando and off the East Coast, which will affect the northeast coast of Florida as well.
Fox Weather's Brian Norcross. Milton is just over 500 miles southwest of Tampa right now, heading for a possible landfall in that region as early as tomorrow night. President Biden also just telling reporters they're still surging resources to respond to Hurricane Helene, and that the number of missing persons in that storm has been significantly reduced, but no details yet on that. There had been hundreds unaccounted for. More than 230 are known dead in several states. The president also calling it un-American to spread misinformation about the federal hurricane response.
Those who do it to try to damage the administration. Well, we can take care of ourselves. But it misleads people. It puts people in circumstances where they panic, where they really, really, really worry. They think they're not being taken care of.
Although he does acknowledge a rough start in some places after Helene, former President Trump has called it the worst storm response in history. America is listening to Fox News.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. And if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk. Jerry Paget, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Voting changes are coming to North Carolina after Hurricane Helene.
North Carolina's election board unanimously approving an emergency resolution that modifies voting locations and rules for 13 counties to make sure that no one is denied the right to vote weeks after Hurricane Helene devastated the western part of the state. North Carolina's voter registration deadline is Friday. South Carolina's is extended to next Monday, and Florida is still on track for its Monday voter registration deadline, even with another major hurricane incoming. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The FAA just issuing a safety alert to airlines, warning of the potential for limited or jammed rudder movement on certain Boeing 737s. This after the NTSB said more than 40 foreign operators of Boeing 737s may be using MAX or next generation planes with rudder components that could pose safety risks. It's still early in the NFL season, but one head coach is out.
The first head coach fired this season in the NFL, Robert Saleh, dismissed Tuesday by the New York Jets 5 games into his 4th season on the job. The Jets lost their 2nd game in a row Sunday. Their record is 2-3. Saleh took over as head coach in 2021 and compiled a record of 20 wins and 36 losses, the worst win percentage by any Jets coach with a minimum 40 games. Saleh had 6 different starting quarterbacks in his tenure with the Jets, who were making defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich their new head coach on an interim basis. First time in Woody Johnson's 25 years as Jets owner, he fired a head coach in the middle of a season. The Jets play their next game next Monday night at home against the Buffalo Bills. Jared Max, Fox News.
Stocks are higher for now, partial rebound from yesterday's losses. The Dow is up 64 points, back over 42K. Oil prices plummeting, back under $74 a barrel. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
And your 11 o'clock code is 181. 181 is your code for a chance to win cash with News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
These Acadiana businesses proudly support the broadcast of UL Raging Cajun Athletics on 103.3 and 1420 The Goat. News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Classic Rock 105.1, and Hot 107.9. Thanks to the following sponsors:
Roy Motors,
South College Center,
Dr. Natalie Brasso, DDS,
Award Master,
Lee's Air Conditioning Company,
and Ross Tire. Please support these businesses who support the Raging Cajun game broadcast of football, men and women's basketball, baseball, and softball. Bring all the action into your home, car, smart speaker, on your phone, or wherever you work all year long. And if you'd like to hear more about becoming a UL booster, it's easy to join the winning team. Support the broadcast of UL Raging Cajun Athletics by becoming a UL broadcast booster. Contact Mary Gallion at 337-233-6000.
For electrical problems or upgrades, use A&P Electrical. Their technicians can assist in residential, commercial, and industrial work. Don't leave your electrical to chance. Plug into your #1 electrical source in Acadiana, A&P Electrical. For 24-hour emergency repair, when something comes up, at the worst time, call A&P Electrical at 337-856-8383. The price won't shock you. When it comes to electricity, don't mess around. Let A&P do it for you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you ready for the ultimate Raging Cajun homecoming celebration? We've teamed up with Bryant Jewelry Buyers and Fizo Seafood, Steakhouse, Oyster Bar, and Catering to bring you a legendary Raging Cajun homecoming party. Imagine this, a catered feast for you and 9 of your closest friends. Plus, UL Athletics is throwing in a prime tailgate spot and 10 homecoming game tickets. Entering is simple. Just fill out the entry form on our station website or our app for your chance to win the ultimate Raging Cajun tailgate experience.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is great to be with you today. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. Somebody sent in that. Was it, okay, you got Church Point. I'm trying to think where I get the shrimp from. Somebody was at 335. That might be it. It's a road over there out in that area that was pretty bad. And I just can't remember the name of the area. And if you said it, it'd pop right in my head. But the road was horrible. And the guy was falling out laughing when I told him they need to pay me for coming out there. It was funny until he told me they ain't ever fixed that road. He said we put it in 74. I think it was 74 is what he told me. I mean, I ain't never seen anything like it. It's like nobody cared. We put it there. Y'all got a road. Leave me alone. And politicians went away. I mean, it was just pathetic. But, you know, that's what we do here. We don't fix anything. We just don't. And I'm hoping Jeff and the Republicans are going to finally get something and do it. And that's what I'm pulling for and I'm hoping for. Anyway, before we get to all that, 844-766-6607, you can always email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Don't forget Dan Bongino right after me. 3 o'clock, Sean Hannity, the Josh Guillory Show at 4, Drive Time Joe Cunningham, 5 to 6 when you headed home. My friends at American Ground Radio, and, of course, the great one, Mark Levin. All that for your pleasure once they kick me off. Anyway, if you're looking for that generator, I've been talking to Peter Verdreen, and he appreciates everybody that's called. He's trying to help everybody get in the generator. Generators are not just used for hurricane season. They're used for any kind of storm or, somebody can – how many times have you been at your house and somebody hit a transformer right up the road from you, if you have transformers still? And everything went out for hours and hours and hours, and you go, oh, my God, I hope it comes back on. It's really cold tonight. It's really hot today. That's what the generator, just you don't worry about that. Kicks on, and you got your hair or heat or whatever you need running, your refrigerator, you still make coffee. Everything's good to go. And that's what a generator, just a peace of mind thing for me. When I moved to South Louisiana, back home, because I'm originally from down this way, I just said, I'm going to get a generator. And I told my bride, I said, we're going to get one. We're going to save the money and get a generator. And if you're looking for one, go to our Louisiana Cinco State for taxpayers. We have to pay every individual in Louisiana is $13,400 per taxpayer is our debt. Let's add the federal debt. You know what the federal debt has got to because of all this money they spent on? $144,000 per person. That's our federal debt. Every one of us owes $144,000. Add $13,400. Now you owe $157,400. It's outrageous. But our state debt is outrageous too. And we're not gonna mess with the unfunded accrued liability. And then folks, we're not gonna win. And the unfunded pensions and the post-retirement benefits still continue to impair Louisiana's ability to pay their bills. That's why I go back to what I've always preached. A good economic engine with the caboose being government last is the best way to go. We've grown too much in Louisiana on the government side. That's why I'm still hoping